I thought we could choose
I didn't understand one word you said.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Where are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OafDiscussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me as always, Mr. Brent.
Doing it for the culture today.
Yeah.
Shayna.
Just be honest, all these girls look like a Build-A-Bay.
And Webb.
It looked like he died, and it's like, well, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OafDiscussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. The man with the gift here to uplift, always on time and never switching shifts.
Yeah, we need you to uplift today.
Uplift the people.
With me as always is Wakanda's very own Mr. Brent.
I know the way.
And to my left, Tony Stark's right-hand man. The Black Spider-Man, a.k.a. Mr. Webb.
Oh, see, now I don't feel so good.
That's perfect.
This went bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a heads up already, just to stop you here, we will be talking spoilers from.
Well, actually, we should probably do a non-spoiler discussion.
Okay.
And then we can do
spoilers after. Okay.
Afterwards.
So we will let you know when spoilers are coming. That way, if you guys want to listen to us, just talk about it for a little bit before spoiling if you haven't seen it and kind of get an idea, and then we'll go into spoilers from there. So it's gonna be. We're gonna tiptoe around it as much as possible, and then we'll
on the Jordans close.
Well, before we get started on that, then
Yeah.
I figured we go ahead and get started on how everybody's week was prior to Infinity War.
Yeah. How are you doing, Brent? How you doing, sir?
I'm just trying to fight being under the weather.
Are you sick again? Damn.
You know what? Been around sick people.
You can't be Wakandan with this immune system you got. There's no way.
Well, it's because he's been outside of Wakanda.
Everything.
It's because he's been outside of Wakanda.
I had to go outside. Met a few colonials.
Right. Yeah.
Things like that. You know, I've been around. You know, with the rest of civilization. But when I came back to the lair, to Wakanda, you know, everything's been working good. You know, we got A1 medicine, A1 technology, man. I bounced back like a champ. All right.
I dig it.
The power of the Black Panther has not been stripped from me.
Very good, very good.
That's debatable.
Whoa,
With these
whoa,
sneezes,
we doing this?
These sneezes, I don't know, man.
I ain't sneezed yet.
He said, I will mute my microphone before I let a sneeze get through all this.
The whole computer get thrown away if I got to sneeze today. But man, everything's smooth. Wrapping up the last couple of weeks of school.
Right?
It's about to be Derby time next week.
That is true.
Did I miss anything? Yo, I got a grill.
Oh,
I think it's about the biggest moment in my life. It's not the biggest moment in my life. Let's run that back.
I didn't know you were stunting like that, Brent.
It's an important moment.
It was a great moment in my life. Yeah, I'm stunting, man. I'm house stunting, man. I got a grill.
An important culinary
Not in the
moment.
mouth, on the porch.
on the porch. Yes,
Okay,
a grill.
He got both. He got both.
I only put
He uses the grill from his mouth to start the fire as like a little spark.
Like a
It's
spark,
specifically for that
There
grill.
you go.
There you go. I like that.
Just for lighting matches. That's it. Just
A
off
grill.
the teeth, throw it in there.
A grill made of flint.
Yes. Yes. It's
I like that.
you know, it
That's
does
great.
have
That sounds like a
hazardous
disaster
issues.
eating Pop Rocks.
Oh yeah, you're gonna start. You're gonna have some problems.
Hey, don't worry about me. All right, don't worry about me. It's all right, I got this. All right, I don't want to get sent to the soul. You know what? Let me stop there. How are you all doing?
Doing good. I can't complain too much. It's been a same kind of week. Pretty boring, straightforward. Went by kind of quick.
Hey man,
What's up?
that question.
Yeah, what's up?
When you gonna make it to the lair, man? When you gonna make it here?
I know I need to. It's been
You know what I'm saying?
far too long. It's been far too long since I've been up there, and I haven't seen the new house yet. So both of those things need to be checked off as soon as possible. Yeah. Other than that, kind of went on a
Adventure?
Not really an adventure. Stopped playing God of War as much. I played it a little bit yesterday though, but I did that so I could like start trying to focus, getting some initial ideas, musical ideas out.
Ah, okay.
I seen that.
Yeah,
I seen that.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks for the help on that, by the way, because and shout out if you do listen to this podcast and you're one of the people that I talked to, all the musicians and stuff that reached out. That was pretty awesome.
Was this prior to Thursday when you posted this? Or?
Well, it was when I posted that, and then I talked to people like throughout the rest of the week. But when I started messing around, like working on stuff, was earlier in the week. Then I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just like put the feelers out there and see one, if anybody's interested when it gets to the point where I want to hopefully enlist some real musicians to help
I may
out.
have a few more people for you too.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
I was I've been just letting the Rolodex in my head
Yeah.
go, and I know some more people who are musicians, they're gifted in some aspect.
Nice.
Now, whether they meet the sound or whatever you're trying to do that way, that's y'all can work that out. But
Right. But yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just connecting people, man.
Yeah, thanks to everybody for reaching out. We appreciate it, definitely. But yeah, so other than that, been same old jazz. Work's been boring.
Well, that's kind of good
Yeah, well, yeah, that is true.
in your line of work.
Yeah, in my line of work, that
was
is
like,
that is good. Haven't had too many crazy events, or I guess negative events. There was some, I guess, that started off the week, and then we had some stuff, but not nearly as bad as it's been.
How much you know about this hepatitis shit?
It's been a little bit. I haven't
It's
got to
up there
do
in Lex.
No, it's not in
there's
Lexington yet.
There's like an outbreak in Kentucky, or it's like
Yeah, it's kind of like
Louisville, sure.
basically what happened was initially the first story that I saw was they were saying like it could be a potential worry for obviously all the people and stuff that are going to be going into Louisville for Derby, because you get all these people in one place. Obviously, there's always a chance to spread more sickness. Now, normally we're just talking about a cold or something like that, but apparently there's been a little bit of a hepatitis outbreak. I believe, but it seems to have been kind of like popping up in random other little places, not just like Brent said in Louisville.
It's
been
definitely in
popping-
Louisville.
Yeah, it's definitely in Louisville.
My old area. I moved away, then an outbreak happened. Like
The zombies started coming.
Well, see, now
3
we're
weeks
worried about
later.
that damn immune system which we talking about, man. You damn,
nah, man.
as soon as
I
you leave,
survived.
all of a sudden hepatitis, all of a sudden it's Resident Evil over there.
Hey, man, I got out while I was good. Man.
Yeah,
You
he's
got to
good.
know when to leave. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them. Sometimes you got to know when to
I
fold
knew
them.
you were gonna do that.
Know when to walk
You know what I'm
away,
saying?
know when to
You got to
run.
know, man.
That's great.
If you're not able to walk away in 5 seconds with seeing the heat come across.
That's funny. Yeah,
I can't do
so,
the heat moment. I can't do that phrase no more.
So yeah, so other than that, that's been the main thing that I've seen so far. Hopefully, it doesn't get any worse, but
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting bad, bro.
Shit.
we'll see. Right? We'll see what happens. But yeah, other than that, I can't complain too much.
Popped up like polio.
So how
Wait,
you-
motherfuckers just like, we got hepatitis over here. Wait, first off, who is we and why do y'all have hepatitis? Like,
right? Yeah, we can't.
everybody
Yeah,
jumping off of
Don't just-
old rusty metal and stuff off fences.
How the hell do you get
That's how I thought,
hepatitis?
that's how you got
I don't know,
hepatitis.
it's-
Was like, and that might not even be the right hepatitis.
That sounds like
but I thought-
gangrene that you talking about.
No, because it used to be like if you like cut yourself with like, let's say like the fences when they've been like corroded, like that could infect
okay.
you, give you hepatitis.
Gotcha.
But nobody ever said what type of hepatitis, like A, B, or C.
Right.
They were just like hepatitis.
There's options, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Hepatitis
goodness.
A is
Yeah, but
what you said.
That's funny. Yeah, very
Liver causing flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, it's got some sketch to it. But yeah, so with that being said, though, my week wasn't too bad. But besides your kind of state of sadness at the beginning, how was your week, Will? Before we get into that,
Okay. It's been chill for the most part. I'm actually realizing I'm getting close to where I need to be fitness wise.
Okay.
I didn't realize how out of shape I was until I actually started getting back into sprinting.
okay,
I'm not as fast as I used to be, but I'm way faster than I was expecting after so long, or not sprinting
wow,
so
yeah,
long.
yeah.
So I'm getting back into doing that. Hopefully, I'll sit there and get a little six pack by the time summer hits.
Nice.
We'll see what happens there. I went to a barber for the first time in 12 years.
Oh, nice.
How was that experience?
I didn't know what to expect because it's been so damn long, and like I'm not I don't know how to act around people.
This is true.
Or be and with that said, I was kind of going in the barbershop and I was just afraid of hearing basketball talk. Oh, LeBron, this, that, and the other. But no, I'm sitting there in the waiting room or in this area waiting, and then all of a sudden I sit there and hear, "Hey, did you know that that Hattori Hanzo from Kill Bill is an actual person?" I was like, okay, I might fit in here a little more than I thought I would. And so so that was interesting, especially since the dude that cut my hair had a Spider-Man poster and I had a Spider-Man shirt on. So I was like, you know what? This is okay. This is okay.
This is working out.
This
you
is
picked
working
the
out
right
for me.
person.
Yeah.
Hey, you Spider. You, me and you. All right.
Yeah, we
the crazy part is the first time I went and got my haircut after my locks, like I hadn't went for like 12 years or like so many years, to get like I hadn't been to a barbershop. I hadn't been to a barbershop since
getting rid of the locks.
No.
Since
last time I went to prom. No, the first prom, it'd be like 05.
Yeah, right.
05 or 04.
Year, right?
Yeah, one of those. It was either something ball or a prom thing. I went and got my hair cut at a barbershop. And that was the last time I had my hair cut at a barbershop.
Gotcha.
It was like then. I want to say it was like 05. But I was like, I don't think I'm going to fit in with barbershop crowd.
Right.
And then I was like, the bigger thing, I was like, I don't know what to tell them I want. Like, I just want you to cut it.
Right. Just cut it. Oh, okay.
But not the bootsy.
Right. Yeah. No bootsy face.
I don't want a bootsy or a bowl cut. No.
I remember when I had a Boosie fade before Boosie was out in middle school.
Yeah, that was
That was the worst fucking 3 years of my life. I hated middle school.
Now everybody's got it.
Yeah.
Or some
That's a
variation
cool
of it.
Or some variation of it.
Right,
And it's just
exactly.
like, all right, I see how y'all niggas are. I
is
I almost got in a fight over a fucking haircut.
That sounds like high school.
No, it was middle school.
Okay, well, that even sounds even better. That's the funny thing about it. Yeah, because my barber's the same way. Like, my barber's a huge gamer. So every time I'm in there, like, as soon as I saw him this time, we just did kind of like, have you played God of War? And he was like, he was like, that's why I'm late. He was like, that's why I'm late. And then I told him, so I was like, that's what my buddy told me when we was podcasting the other day. He was like, that's the reason why I'm late. I was like, it's doing it to everybody. Like, everybody's caught up on it with that.
I want to talk about where
funny.
you are on the game now, but I don't want to. We already got enough spoilers coming up in this game, so in this episode. So
Plus, I don't
I'll hold
wanna spoil
off.
it.
I'll hold off.
When you're done with your week, I got a comment real quick. This I mean, it's not quite breaking news, but it's possible news.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Webb was talking about
Fire away. I don't remember anything else. I've been blacked out on social media starting Thursday morning. I didn't want to take any chances whatsoever.
True.
Yeah.
No Facebook, or maybe on Instagram a little bit up until a certain point.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds on Instagram, then back out.
Yeah.
But no Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, I ain't have to worry about anything like that. But
a
Twitter, absolutely not. No.
There was a couple times I had to throw my phone a little bit. Like where I'm like scrolling through and I see like I'll see like black girl nerds and I'm like, and I'll just throw it across the room like, oh my god. Oh, that's
Don't do
close.
it.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll jump back into that and give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's probably less than that. So T-Mobile and Sprint have announced their merger, a $26 billion merger.
Okay.
Apparently 2 hours ago.
Oh, nice.
So it's taking it from 4 major or national, I guess, phone companies
to 3.
to 3.
Nice. That makes sense. I mean, that makes sense to me. Because I know they had been working on that for a while, but they
kept getting it back. So I'm curious, like, will they still have to, with the Trade Commission, with was it FTC?
I think so.
Is that the right one?
That's a federal
FTC?
trade commission. The FTC is a federal trade.
Will they have a chance to block this or not?
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll try to, just because I mean, of course, before the thing that happened is AT&T was trying to do something a long time ago, and they blocked them. Of course, they did the singular thing back in the day, and that was when that happened, which that was a small thing. But they saw AT&T as too powerful already. I could see this working because Sprint's big, but
I have
T-Mobile's
Sprint.
not as big as it used to be. So
T-Mobile has better service.
what than Sprint?
Yeah,
Really?
I would
I
say.
don't know that.
I mean, they got like the faster of the speeds, and I think Sprint's like the bigger name.
Yeah, and they probably
But
have more of the resources.
T-Mobile's not a slouch. So
Yeah, no,
I think
not at all.
I think if they merge the two, it could be something. It could be something special. Like
Nice.
we might get that Nokia brick phone that you can put in a hole,
They should just
be
bring-
underwater, 100 leagues underwater, and still have service. Like,
They should just bring back the Sidekick.
oh my goodness! If they bring back the Sidekick, I'm getting one.
I think they could do it. I think they could pull it off. Like,
Like,
bring back like
oh
a
my
touchscreen version.
Yes.
Yeah,
if
I
they do
would-
the
I would dig
Sidekick with
that,
the
yeah.
touchscreen,
Yeah.
I'm getting because I never got one when we was when
Me
they was
neither.
out.
Me neither.
I never had one.
I never had one of those. The 2-ways that everybody had.
Yeah,
Like, no, I like goofy stuff.
or a beeper.
Yeah, no, yeah, me neither. Yeah,
Yeah,
I missed the
But-
boat on those.
but although we missed the boat on those,
Yeah.
one thing I was trying not to mess up was like you all was going to Twitter and other social media. Web, you had a blackout, right?
Yes, absolutely. I went Matt Murdock and what's a
Frog?
deaf superhero?
Oh, a deaf.
I don't
superhero?
know.
Is there one?
I know there has to be, right?
Yeah, there has to be.
I don't.
Let me see.
don't think
I'll look it up.
I should know this, right? But no, pretty much you get what I'm well, I'm pretty much Helen Keller. Yeah, she's a superhero enough.
Yeah.
I was Helen Keller to the timeline, to any kind of social media whatsoever, starting Thursday morning, because just in case people had some sort of super duper early screening overseas and wanted to say something on timeline or anything of that nature whatsoever, I was not having it.
Okay. Let's see.
Brent?
You could be Echo.
There's one
Echo
name.
is
There's
a-
one named Clerk. There's one named Sasaki. Veditz.
Hold on.
Film. It says appearances film.
Are y'all looking at list of deaf superheroes on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
While this podcast took a drastic halt.
Yeah. Sorry.
Shit,
Yeah.
dead silence.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like,
Yeah,
it had
that
to happen
bad.
because I was
because I was confused. I was
Man, I thought this was like the movie theater
I was trying to
after
make-
Infinity War for a second there during the credits.
I was trying to make sure. I was trying to make sure we didn't have
there's
to
Blue
have to.
Ear apparently, who probably wears a blue hearing aid. I'm not seeing too many.
There's not too many. I was trying to make sure we didn't
Yeah.
have to like have an uprising.
Yeah, they have their own Wikipedia file, and it's.
I'm
you can
going
probably
with
count them
Echo.
on two hands.
Like 5,
Also
6.
known as Ronin, is a deaf woman who is able to perfectly replicate other people's actions.
That's actually a dope fucking
Because
power.
she's deaf, she pays acute attention to details, allowing her to learn new abilities simply by watching another person perform the task.
She's like
That sounds like chocolate.
she's like Rogue, but she doesn't have to touch you.
Y'all ever seen the kung fu movie? Well, it's not kung fu. It's a
Yeah,
martial
I've
arts
seen
movie called Chocolate. It was like this autistic girl. She learned how to fight from watching. Like there was a dojo that was like right next to her house,
She just watched it.
and she just watched them perform. And then like she was able to mimic anybody's fighting style and just go from there.
That's
Whether
actually
like
dope.
even like their little ticks and stuff. And I think she fought another autistic dude at the end.
And that was like the thing.
Yeah, and that was like the main battle.
Huh.
And
interesting.
because he had like a weird little twitch.
Tick, yeah.
And she was getting her ass whooped by him.
Yeah.
And then she started mimicking it too and doing a little ticks and figuring out how he was doing his. It was dope as hell.
Yeah.
But now that I'm reading this out or describing this out loud, this comes across a little offensive.
Yeah, I could see being partially problematic, but I do like the idea of a superhero that can just like visually mimic.
Yeah.
That's actually dope.
Well, there is a Sign and Voices is a British comic book created by deaf individuals. The 4 superheroes in the comic are all deaf and use British Sign Language to communicate as well. This is all from Huffington Post 2014.
Nice.
Superheroes who are deaf and the power of diversity.
I saw that article.
Yeah, I tried to skip over it.
Yeah,
'cause
I did
it's,
too.
It's Huffington Post.
Yeah, and
It's
I didn't
like-
like the way that article title sounded. It sounded
Look,
too flowery.
That's all I got. I named my sources. So, but anyway, so I named my sources just in case, So y'all don't come at me. Come at Huffington Post. Do
Yeah.
whatever you got to do. Ride on something else. But so I almost fucked up with this. Because I was looking at Twitter. It was Facebook. Facebook got me. Twitter almost did too. But I was like scrolling, and I was like, let me see what these let me see what these messages are on Facebook. I see I got like 20 something notifications about something.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it, and I'm scrolling, and all I see is the movie. Why? Let me just fast scroll. All right. Then I saw then I seen like other podcasts like, oh, we're spoiling it tonight, blah blah blah. Okay, done with Facebook. Let me go to Twitter. Then it was like oh, guess how many people died in the movie? I was like, wait, hold up.
So we get out of
Hold
here.
up. This is Thursday. Oh no.
It's like the internet equivalent of walking through a bad neighborhood.
Oh my goodness. It's like playing Minesweepers. That's what it feels like. It's like you wanna like navigate through it and win and be like, yes, I seen all I wanted to see and I won. But what really happens, you hit the fucking mine every time. Even if it's like a 1 or a 6, it's always a mine right there.
Yep.
The next scroll is a mine.
You're done.
And and you're done. So on that note, what y'all want to talk about?
That's funny.
Well,
so
in that sense,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention on my weekly recap. My bad.
Okay, you're good.
Well, it's not really much of a note. Have any of y'all had a chance to listen to Post Malone's new album?
I skimmed through it.
Beer bongs and
It's a little,
Bentleys.
Yeah, beer
Beer bongs and Bentleys.
Beamer.
I did not.
Oh, that just reminded me. Banging big booty bitches, big baggy basketball britches.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I saw the best comment that I saw on this was from DJ Booth, where they said, basically, I haven't been this bored listening to an album than when I made it to track 37 of Culture 2. And I was just like, that's funny. Because Culture 2 was entirely too long. And this album is entirely too long.
Right. I just listened to it once. I'm on my second listen just for the fact that I kind of just zoned out.
Yeah, you can do that with his stuff.
Yeah. Well, the first one, Stoney.
Yeah.
I liked the original. I liked the normal version. I ended up listening to the deluxe, and I was like, if they just took out those 3-4 songs, if I just listened to the regular edition,
You wouldn't need those extra songs.
yeah, I'll be okay. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Right.
This one, not so much. Like every song you can tell is definitely going to be able to be on the radio.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like most
Damn near every song.
Yeah, can be a radio hit, which I mean is
That's still. I mean, that's not.
it's good for him.
Yeah, that's not a knock as far as going. Oh, this nigga is mainstream. This is way too mainstream. But no, it's just apparently he found his lane compared to Stoney.
Absolutely.
And some of the features on there were pretty dope. Like I figured, of course, Sway Lee and Ty Dolla $ign, they sit there and fucking. They got the Midas touch. It seems like.
Yeah, especially when it comes to hooks and shit.
But like a lot of the other songs, it just kind of ran together for real.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really figure. I was like, well, what do I mark this? Like, what do I label this as? Because he's not really rapping, and he's a pretty limited singer.
Yeah, he's got his own. He's got an interesting kind of background where he came from too.
Yeah.
Like
As far as like country music background, there's this one track that you can definitely tell. What was it called?
Influenced by his. I was just looking through the track list again.
Okay, but yeah. So honestly, compared to Stoney, I would probably give this one I think I'm gonna give it a bronze if I had to rank it.
I can see that. Yeah, it's got a lot of fat that needs to be kind of trimmed off. But I mean, at the same time, like we said, you could still put most of these songs on the radio.
Right.
And they would do very well, which is definitely not a knock.
Exactly.
It's definitely something beneficial to him and anybody who's fans of Mr. Post Malone.
So, with that said, let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room.
Get out of here.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go with a non-spoiler talk about Infinity War, which will then be followed by a talk about the spoilers in Infinity War. Mm-hmm. We will give y'all a warning when we start talking about the spoilers, so don't worry. Yeah. Or if you just want to just not even risk it and listen to it next week after you seen it, by all means do that.
Yeah, no problem.
I already know everybody's on eggshells as far as trying to. It's like, dude, why'd you spoil it for me? Why the fuck did you? Why'd you log in? Why did you log in?
Yeah,
I already seen it. It's too late.
Yeah, it's on you. That's on you. You can't have the entire. Literally, you can't have the world stop on account of you for your convenience. So, whip.
With that said,
All right. Well, how do we start, man?
That's what I was trying to think of how to dissect it. I guess from like we can start
So-
from beginning to end.
So here's my question. You going into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Did this movie was this movie what you thought it was going to be?
This was
I mean, as far as like story, yeah.
Almost
exactly. He
Well-
did exactly what I thought he was.
yeah.
gonna do.
I came in there just dreading. It was kind of like you're waiting to get your shots, but you know it's gonna be. It's good for you. It's gonna be good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But damn it, it's gonna hurt when it's happening.
Yeah.
And you're just psyching yourself up for the entire time when you get there. And it turned out like I got a shot, and then I realized, oh, by the way, you're scheduled for a prostate exam.
So, wait,
Oh no.
no.
Oh no.
I was sitting there just dreading. I was like, okay, here it comes. This person's gonna die. This person's gonna die. I know for a fact this person's gonna die.
Right.
And it turned out way worse than what I anticipated.
Yeah, because we tried to like label off people and blah 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 whatever.
Yeah.
And we were kind of met with an interesting result compared to what we were trying to like set it up for in a very, I guess in a way conservative way compared to what happened.
Yeah.
There was a girl beside us at the movie theater, annoyingly so,
You know?
in tears the entire time,
Oh, really?
crying the
From-
whole movie,
From beginning to end.
pretty much.
Oh, I
And
see.
we
I
know
see why.
without saying spoilers yet, we know what lit the fuse.
Okay.
It happens pretty quick.
Okay. Okay.
We pretty quickly. So that lit the fuse.
I can see that. I can see that.
And the thing was, I didn't even notice that my girlfriend was sitting directly next to her, and I was sitting beside my daughter, who was right in the middle of us two. So at the end, my girl was like, the girl beside me was crying the whole time. I was like, really? The fuck? And this is gonna kind
That's
of
a long time to cry.
Yeah, it's a long
2 hours and 30 minutes.
She definitely had
Yeah,
a
I was like
she
240,
definitely had a
230.
migraine by the end of it. Now, with that being said,
She's dehydrated.
right. Now, with that being said, there not, also again not on spoilers yet, but I felt like I told you. It was interesting my emotional state by the end compared to literally everyone else in the movie, besides my girlfriend, who was generally indifferent because she literally hasn't seen. I think she might have seen the first one.
Well, that's a failure on your part.
Well, here's the thing.
Talk about it, sir. We're going to spoil your life.
Here's the thing. We got together 2 years ago. This is 10 years worth of movies. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way too. Jacob, our buddy Jacob, who's
Jacob.
calling me off on my
Dr.
my oafness.
Yes.
I haven't
ain't no
seen
fan.
Thor or Spider-Man.
You ain't no fan, dog.
Wait, as in Ragnarok?
Yeah, I haven't seen any one of them. So I have no lead into this, which worked perfectly, in my opinion, because it was great. I liked it. I had no problem. I tried to watch them. I didn't feel like paying for them, so I did not.
Well, technically, you didn't. If you didn't feel like paying for them, you still could have watched it.
I
but-
mean, no, that's the thing. I tried, and it didn't work out for me.
You just chalked it up as a lost cause.
Yeah, I just said screw it. Britt knows. Britt got the messages, and so did Jacob.
I did. I
Somebody
tried to help you
send me
out.
an app. Somebody send me an app so I can watch these damn movies.
I tried to help you out.
And then
Those didn't work?
that one, it wouldn't. I kept clicking links and they wouldn't load. And so I was like, you know what? I guess it just means I'm supposed to go in this way. So fuck it. So I seen Black Panther, and that was enough studying and preparation, as far as I'm concerned.
Kinda forever.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned. But no, I think the plot kind of went through the motions. Like there was obviously some surprises and stuff in there, but it was a general beat for beat what I kind of expected. Because I expected it to be an ass kicking the entire time. Because here's the thing, in storytelling, especially when you have you've got like, you basically set it up. Because remember when we first heard about this, like wrapping up as far as the Avengers go, it was originally going to be one movie that was like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we can't do that. We can get more money if we split it up into two. Which, genius. Because they're going to make billions of dollars. Because that movie theater was fucking packed at 11 o'clock on a Sunday. Now, with that being said...
11 a.m.
Yeah, 11 a.m. on a Sunday. Everybody skipped God. and went to see Avengers. Nobody went to church this morning.
I mean, there are 8 o'clock services and 9 o'clock services.
Not. Well, I guess there is.
Yes.
I don't know how church works.
It's
So-
okay. It's okay. Keep going.
I thought that only.
I don't know how church works.
I thought that only happened at Easter.
No. That's a
No,
people
some
have
churches
multiple
churches got.
services for
Okay.
They
a
know.
different
They
congregation.
know.
Yeah, they know. They know what church services.
See, go
are.
about your day.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, get out of here.
That's why I like white churches. Like they punctual.
They're over at 12:30.
Yeah.
Nasty.
They do no kind of
12:30.
overrun whatsoever.
Yeah, if
That's funny.
they're not
funny.
Catholic, they are over at 12:30. If they are Catholic, they are over
And
at 4:30.
they try to rush that. It's 11. It's 12:29. And it's like, okay, y'all. I was like, bow your heads. Amen and amen. Good night. God bless. Y'all.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sister Jean, we will get to you next week. Thank you. Goodbye. See you.
anybody needing to be baptized, text me. I'm out. He's like,
Right? Yeah.
Pastor's already in the parking lot before everybody filled out. Yeah.
He still got his mic
my
on
mic.
running. He
might
still got
take
his
my
mic on running to the car. But yeah, so
Y'all silly.
I expected it because of the split of two movies, and then the kind of the light hints going into it, which kind of worked, and I can see what it meant. But like I remember going into it, they said like this is gonna be like a heist movie, which I could kind of see that, but it was kind of in reverse. It wasn't really a heist. It was more like if you
it
were
was a
trying to
heist.
rob a bank, but the money kept slapping you in the face.
Or it's like,
But it was a heist definitely from Thanos.
or like if you got to stop it's like source code, except you don't have
you
the
go.
ability to sit there and go back in time if you keep fucking up.
That's good.
Well, actually, technically,
Oh, well.
they technically do have the ability.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like stop it. You got to stop this train from
spoiler?
plowing into the city and blowing up.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Shut up.
No,
Yes.
not yet.
Jeez,
You got to stop this train. No, because you complaining, because if you, the reason why I sit there and did that was like, oh, is that a spoiler? Because if we pretend something ain't a spoiler, and then was like, wait, is that a spoiler? Then people are sitting there trying to think, oh, but wait,
They'll
what
try
did
to
they say?
dissect
And then
it.
they're going to sit there trying to dissect it and try to
Yeah.
go from there.
If
That's
we
why I was sitting there trying
if we
to
just
nip it in.
blow through it, then they won't remember.
Yeah, it's pretty much So Thanos is pretty much a runaway train with a nuclear bomb attached to him.
Yeah, literally.
Off
almost.
the tracks, running it towards a city.
Yeah.
And everyone is trying to find a way to sit there and stop the train.
Right. Now, with that being said, I think one of the things and this is one of the things that Marvel obviously does pretty well on a consistent basis is the character interaction and the parts that like the little bit of like comedy that was sprinkled in was separated up in a way that was almost flawless. And when you think of like beat for beat, when you want to be like, when you're not trying to like force, like, look, we're trying to be funny, ha 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 ha, ha. Like, constantly, like it was perfectly separated up where it was like, okay, shit just got kind of real. Okay, shit, we need to focus. Quick little joke. Then you're like, ha,
So-
and then like it kind of perfectly just flowed in and out of that, like, it was.
I was like, oh wait, okay, we got everybody's heart rate up. All right, let's bring them down.
Exactly. All right, everybody breathe. Yeah.
So am I the only person that smiled through the movie?
Define smile.
Smiled or you mean smiled as in all you did was smiled, or
As in
I
like,
did was
this is
smile.
glory. Like, this is a great movie. This is very good. Or are you smiling as in like you just being a sadistic fuck?
yeah? Now is smiling the top or the bottom in your explanation? Is what I'm saying.
Huh?
Like
What?
as far as like was smiling the happiest that he got, or did he laugh and then he smiled?
Was I like maniacal?
No,
Like,
I'm
are you
saying.
asking
No,
me
I'm
that?
saying. Are you asking
That was the
us?
highest emotion that you had?
No. I'm
Is that what
saying, is he asking us if we took it very seriously and we were just like, ooh, on the edge of my seat the whole time, or is he saying like the most the movie made me do was smile? I never laughed. That's what I'm asking. Is Brent?
Oh
saying.
no. Okay. So neither. So neither to that.
Okay.
So.
14 million
Yeah, there wasn't a question.
variations
If
of
you
that
were
emotion.
on the edge of your
Illusions.
seat, that
Illusions.
would be, I guess, good storytelling from them to
Yeah.
keep you involved.
Yeah.
And enthralled through the movie. The way the movie was going and who was, which sides were potentially winning versus the good and evil. I smiled.
Yeah.
I smiled. Finally.
Okay.
Finally, there was a movie. Finally, there was a movie
That invoked emotion.
that's made me proud. That finally made me proud. I thought Black Panther was going to be the only one, and that one faltered at the end.
I could see
But
that. I could see that. The
What?
smiling thing. Because
What?
I had a similar experience to that, where I was like, it was kind of like, I'm trying to think of how to compared.
I'll say it when we talk spoilers. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because I can't say like real reasons why without spoiling stuff. But so a crazy part is I went into this movie. I know what the Infinity War. Like I had a rough idea what it was, but I made sure I didn't go and do any extra research.
Right.
Like I found out about like like what everybody's looking for, what's all that. Like I found out all like kind of your background homework, but I never read the comic. I made sure I didn't, because I was actually going to buy it like a couple months ago just to like read through it and all that. Now I have read through like Civil War,
right,
and that was also like one happy moment for me, because of that. But what they kind of did, fusion some comic stuff and movie stuff together. But so this movie actually surprised me a few times. I do remember a moment that I don't know if you all had this in the movie theater where I was really like, I was like, WTF.
Okay. I think I know what it is.
I honestly was like, WTF. I didn't see it coming.
Okay.
In my brain, like it wasn't like, brain blew up or nothing, but it was like, WTF?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
There's one. Yeah.
Wow.
It might not be the same, but yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and when we do spoilers, we can chop that up for real.
Yeah.
But so for me, since I've seen all the movies like up until now, unlike G over there, who's not really a fan, I basically got to be surprised in a sense. Like I got to be surprised, and I wasn't expecting anything. So I got to like take the movie as is. Like, all right, I don't know how this story is supposed to flesh out, whether they did a good homage to the comics or not. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff. If it's like screen for screen, nothing.
Right.
So I really appreciated that. But the thing I didn't like, that kind of rubbed me the wrong, like it didn't rub me the wrong way. I felt like how they went from character to characters to me was like choppy at times.
Oh, okay.
Like, well, no, not say choppy. To me, at certain points, it didn't flow.
Okay.
Right, just like smoothly. But that also could have been, while I was in the movie, I was thinking like, okay, certain people, this is gonna happen. I'm trying to play it out in my head, like, okay, they're gonna team up. This is gonna happen. Yada yada yada, and it didn't quite happen. So that could have been part on me as well. So
right.
So it's interesting hearing like your take of like everything was flawlessly done, and to me, I was like, nah, not quite.
Well, I was talking about like the comedy part of it.
Oh, the comedy part,
the writing, the comedy writing part of it.
Yeah, they hit.
Speaking of, question: if I'm mistaken, correct me on this. But from my understanding, with the Guardians of the Galaxy, on the segments where it's specifically Guardians of the Galaxy, they actually had James Gunn writing the dialogue for the Guardians in those particular scenes.
I think I heard something about that. I believe. Yeah,
and it like you can
that
kind of
makes sense.
If that's true, that's dope.
Because it fucking. I mean it.
Because
it
sounds. It's like this is. Wait, are we sure this ain't a Guardians movie? Like on those scenes where they sit there and cut right back.
Yeah, the music. Did you notice there were 2 songs
ever?
In
the entire
the
song,
whole thing,
the entire
there
movie.
There are 2 songs: Rubber Band Man and the Black Panther Wakanda theme. That was it.
No, hold on.
Yes,
no, well,
that was it.
If you look at the credits,
2 songs. Think songs. Don't think I'm hearing music. That's the theme of the movie.
Okay.
Just chained, like segmented in different like parts, so basically using stems. Yeah.
Oh.
There were only 2 songs. That was it.
Okay.
Rubber Band Man.
What is the intro to the Guardians? Because they switched the music. Okay, but that's not a song.
That just counts as the thing. Okay. And they did a lot of variations of that. They changed key, they changed instruments, it went quiet, it went loud. They just used that as the thing.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Damn, I didn't think about that. Sorry, I was trying not to go.
The fact that one of them is Rubber Band Man is fucking amazing.
I mean, because Rubber Band Man.
I love that so much.
That one goes.
it's what that kind of goes along too. It's like, especially they sit there. Of course, they would sit there and like hit a song like that, which then just kind of get the old people to sit there and just nodding. There was this black lady over there, a couple seats down, and you can sit there and see her just doing like this a little bit, like on the side of the corner of her eye. And
that's funny.
With that said, I love how they did a good job introducing every character, because this was a lot of pots to cook.
Yeah, it was.
This was a lot of pots to cook.
It was.
And for them to sit there and put it together in a gumbo the way they did, as smoothly as they did, is a very good move. Very genius how they were able to pull that together. Yeah. Especially when you got some characters that are just out there in space, like the Guardians. Right. And like, how the hell do we connect them to the Avengers that have, for the most part, specifically only been on Earth, with the exception of Thor?
Yeah, exactly.
And lo and behold, it's Thor who was the kind of the key to bring everybody together, in a sense.
And you literally, wow, it's it's kind of a spoiler. I won't say anything yet.
Okay.
You were supposed to.
What'd you say?
That was funny. That surprised me, but
it's not a spoiler.
How? No, I'm just about to ask something else.
No,
like,
he's trying to say. I almost said something.
Yeah, I think I know where you was going. But so how would you rate this movie? Like, what is your thoughts afterwards? How would you rate this?
I think it deserved what it's been getting, which is like 9 out of 10s and stuff. I think it was good because, and I'm looking at it too from the respect of this had to be so fucking hard.
Yeah.
To pull off, not even just from, obviously it was a task fucking visually, but from a story standpoint, because there's so many, like you have so many potential ways to fuck it up, because you have so many plot threads that you could either go super lazy with it, or you could just fucking forget something, or you could leave something out because you're like, once again, like doing something lazily. And they had to make sure that this was able to flow together. And it was one of those things too where I saw a really good article like after I was leaving, when I was doing that thing I always do, which is as soon as the credits start, like as soon as I see the first credit, I go on Google and I say how many end sequences are in this movie, because if I can get out before the end of thing, I will leave early. But obviously this one was at the end. There was an article that said all it said was Avengers Infinity War doesn't give a shit if you haven't seen the other movies. And I was like,
yeah, and it's every right to.
Yep.
It's just like it's just like the spoiler train on social media.
Yep.
That's up to you. It's like we can't sit there and stop. Oh yeah, the New York Times, their review. Did you see that shit?
Oh no, I missed that one.
I think it was New York Times. I can don't.
Okay.
I'll double check, but to go from there.
You're fine.
But they were sitting there complaining, it's like, oh, characters just showed up out of nowhere and were just not introduced, blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker, where you been for the past 10 years?
Right, yeah. Did you just start writing?
You literally got 19 movies.
Yeah.
To have caught up.
Right. Is this the first one? Welcome to the New York Times. You're going to write the Avengers remove. Oh, wait, I haven't seen any. Okay, that's our guy. All right, that makes sense. But yeah, like I said, I think it deserves every bit of praise it's been getting. I really enjoyed it because I was worried, and because I'm slightly cynical, I was expecting to find something very disappointing in it, and it was great.
So with that said, out of our rankings, we have trash, we have bronze, we have silver, we have gold, and we have platinum. Where do you line this up at?
I think I'm gonna give it platinum minus. Because I think honestly, there's
vibranium minus.
Yeah, no, platinum minus, not vibranium minus. Purple Rain is vibranium. Platinum minus.
Wait, aren't they the same level?
No. Platinum.
Yes.
Well,
it's not.
Y'all added the vibranium.
No, vibranium is above. Vibranium is God's sake.
We have trash, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, vibranium. We have 6. We have 6 levels.
Yeah.
I guess.
I thought there's only 5.
No,
technically there's
platinum.
There's
and
technically
vibranium are the same thing.
No, there's technically 6.
There's officially
but
5.
Vibranium is
there's only 5. Yeah. Vibranium and platinum are the same.
No, the hell they're not. They're not.
Fuck it. For this review, for anything Marvel, anything. How about this? Happy
Going
medium.
Forward, we got 6.
Happy medium. No,
Yeah.
happy medium.
No,
anything MCU related. Anything MCU related.
Here's what I was
Platinum is replaced.
fuck it. I'm ruining
It's
the
replaced.
joke. No, fuck it. I'm ruining the joke. The joke has always been, Brent, that platinum is slightly below vibranium, but vibranium is so good that it will never be reached. But it's always there, just like black excellence. That's the
feel
joke
like we
behind
gave
vibranium.
Black Panther vibranium.
I don't think we did. I think we jokingly did because it's.
There's no jokes with vibranium.
Yes, there is. The whole vibranium theme is a joke. That's the whole thing. It's a joke. The whole thing is based on a joke.
Look,
it's an unattainable joke.
it's attainable, sir.
We'll see. Yeah, if somebody makes something vibranium, then I'll quit.
Black Panther already was made. Quit.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't perfect though. That wasn't vibranium.
It was.
It was great.
It was vibranium. In every sense.
Anyways, platinum minus.
Platinum minus. Okay. Well, what you got?
All right. As far as my thoughts on Infinity War, as I mentioned before, I love how they were able to introduce and bring everyone together in a very, very ambitious film. I actually enjoyed what we didn't mention enough of, Thanos' entire, for lack of better words, story arc.
He was so good as Thanos.
Yeah. I didn't really. I was kind of leery about Josh Brolin.
I was
just
wondering.
in the sense,
like I know how
are they
good
gonna-
his voice is. Like he's got the kind of voice you want in either a anti-hero or a bad guy.
Yeah,
Like,
and it works. I
Yeah,
mean,
it does.
like he's a great actor. Point blank.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
I was just wondering, like, how is this going to work if he's just all CGI? What are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
And
saying.
didn't have to worry about that. It
Yeah.
just took over as far as like just hit this persona that he was,
And he
it's
was
just like
always-
yeah. And the way he carried himself is like, if I knew I wasn't gonna get my ass whooped, I just wanted to jump in and fight him too.
Yeah,
just from
right,
how he
yeah.
act, just from how he carried himself.
Yeah.
He wasn't like this super maniacal, muhaha type
No.
evil villain or this type of character either.
He would talk to you at first.
Yeah, he was very civil
Yeah, exactly.
before whooping your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And like it was just to the point where it's like it was nothing personal
Right.
as far as how he wanted to, as far as how he carried about himself.
was
It's
a-
like, I have a mission.
Yeah. Period.
I have a purpose.
And you're in the way. Move. It was a really good. It kind of ties into what you said about him, like you said, like I would jump in if I wouldn't get my ass kicked. There was that really good scene where that's exactly what Star-Lord said to Rocket Raccoon. It's like, you just don't want to go where Thanos is.
Yeah.
And that was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking duh.
So what are you gonna do anyway? Yeah,
Right,
so,
yeah, exactly.
With that said, okay, so my negatives with the film is that 2.5 hours wasn't enough, man.
No.
I get it. It's like make more money. We have a lot to digest. We know some of y'all have to pee at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take this
So-
for a year and go chew on it.
Yeah, and with that said, it's just like as far as getting everything together the way it was, and then just to cut it off at a cliffhanger, a la not as nowhere near as bad as the second Matrix.
No.
Nowhere near as bad as that.
No.
But in the same sense, it's still like a cliffhanger. It's just like,
Absolutely.
oh, it kind of gets to you, especially what takes place during the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And also, as I mentioned before, as far as James Gunn, it is James Gunn, right? Yeah,
Yes.
James Gunn
Yeah.
writing the dialogue for the Guardians, and you can kind of tell where he was cooking
Right.
in the pot.
Yeah.
And then you can tell when the Russo brothers kind of stepped in to continue cooking for the
Yeah.
Guardians, but there's an obvious difference in their style and that feeling.
Right.
Because some things happen with the Guardians that make no real sense
Right.
as far as certain people's character or motivations, certain people's motives. I just said that, didn't I?
No, yeah. You
Really did.
Yeah, you did. You
certain
just said it
people's-
different ways.
Yeah, certain people's motives,
Okay.
some of the things that they're talking about, and their personalities kind of took a complete change. It's like, no, this person wasn't like this 2 movies ago. This person wasn't even like this on this volume 2.
Right, yeah.
How is that even? Why is that a thing?
Right.
And it felt like that problem I had with the Flash and Arrow on CW.
Okay.
It was like forced confrontation or forced something that's forcing the plot to move forward.
Yeah.
If everyone had common sense or would communicate better, we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah, that's always an annoying plot thing is when
like it's just very contrived and really forced. And for this to be going so well and everything being executed and being the stakes so high as they are, and then for something to be kind of just a forced motivation or like this forced action from one character that kind of just snowballs everything else. It was just like, well, that doesn't even make any damn sense, right? Especially with how this character is,
right? Yeah.
So that really brought it down, and just like the stinger at the end for everything to be it is for the cliffhangers is like, oh, I don't want to wait another year.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe I got to rewatch it in order to sit there and give this a higher ranking. But as far as like them having to move and fast forward for those 2.5 hours, and for the character motivations or the actions that some characters do that are contradictory to who they are in previous movies, I'm going to give this a silver.
Jesus Christ. Okay. That works. Oaf is harsh.
Okay. So
Liquid Soul.
All right. So Liquid Stars. First off, I have listened to one of our listeners, and they ranked this as trash.
They don't count.
Well, no, I just got to throw it out there. A listener
to be fair,
said,
my wife did get pissed off at the movie. It's just like, I was very disappointed, but that's because she hates open-ended things. Anything and everything that's open-ended. Book, TV, movie, anything and everything that's open for interpretation. She can't stand Inception just because, well, what did the top do? I was like, God damn it, that's the point. It's like
I like that.
That's up to your interpretation. I don't like that. It's like
all right,
fine.
it's fine.
how she would rank it? You had a feeling? How she would rank it?
How she would rank it?
Yeah.
We're still talking about it, honestly, because we'll get into it in the spoilers, because I was
okay.
She tried to talk to me. I was like, no, I need a moment. You're like,
I need shut up.
No, I was in my chair like this. I was in my chair just like, and it's like, all right, so what did we, or it's like, did you want to eat something? I was like,
Right, yeah, fuck food, fuck. I gotta let me sit here for a minute.
Process it. So I did have an actual listener. Their feedback was it was trash. So that
was that just reactionary, or was it just an honest?
It was reactionary.
A large portion of it was reactionary, but for them, they felt the plot line didn't add up. The story pacing was off. That characters just jumped around and no real character had any real moment to develop in a sense. And but the second half, which I can get into when we hit spoilers, just kind of the viewing of Wakanda and how it ends, that type of thing. That was what their biggest reason for why it was trash. And so that was them. Now me, I would almost give this Vibranium just because of the ending, and not because
I'd give it. Platinum honestly came out of me. Sorry, I was just saying platinum. Not even the ending boosted it for me. The post credit ending. I was
okay.
Daddy.
So
Daddy. And I can't wait to get into spoilers because I had a kind of embarrassing moment. Fuck all of them niggas.
All right. All right. So
you gonna get mad at us?
Not y'all. I'm talking to people in
so the ending, it boosted it for me because I root for certain people. I root for certain things, and it was like a little part of me was like a little boy finally got Christmas to come. Like Christmas came, Santa Claus was real, and it was a small present.
And he's purple.
And
he's 9 feet tall.
And 9 feet tall.
He's giant.
Yo, can I admit? Hold on. His what do you call them? Monologues.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, I guess
his monologues were amazing. And I'm talking about was it Josh Brolin?
Yeah, his delivery is great.
Yo, it was amazing. I mean, they show it in the trailer, the part where it's like, hopefully they'll remember you are.
Yeah.
Those moments solidified. I was like, yo, this is amazing. Now, you all basically covered everything that I probably would have said. I really enjoy the action sequences.
Yeah.
And there was a few moments where I was like, now why the heck would they do that? Like certain characters did some things. I was like, why the heck would they do that? But I did enjoy the wittiness throughout the movie. Like you had your beats where it was like, you know, depending on what side you're rooting for, you're like, dang, whew, it's looking rough. And then you had other beats where it was like, yo, that was these one-liners, these zingers, you know, like Spider-Man's interaction with
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, like something like that, or the cloak doing its thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, the cloak's always steals the show for a second. Like I really enjoyed it. So I was really thinking that this movie was going to be a complete mess. Like, because it was supposed to be like 4-hour movie or 6, you know what I'm saying, 4-hour movie. Then it was supposed to be like all one movie, then all apart, then parts. And, you know, I was like, this movie's just going to be a mess. Because how are they going to make how are they going to get all the bands together? And you got Tony and Captain America not on speaking terms. And, you know what I'm saying? Like all these different puzzles and parts and pieces. And so I was surprised. And I want to give it gold on. I want to give it the brightest and most shiniest of gold.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So we
and
still
that's on my
upper.
first one.
Yeah.
It's in the upper. I feel like when we go through the spoilers, it may change, but I want to give it like top tier gold. Like I want to give it for real gold. Okay. Like bling bling gold, and but for the ending, it's platinum.
Nice.
For the ending, it's platinum, but my thing is sticking with gold.
All right, so we're doing Bruno Mars then.
I feel like you're different. I feel like the ending thing, having that influence on you, is drastically different than everybody I watched the movie with, at least.
Yes, because I want to make it platinum, but I put Black Panther up there as platinum, funny, like as vibrating, like as a platinum thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this was in that same league, but I feel like for
the
what
Negro League.
The Justice League.
Just keep leagues. Any league we can think of. Just keep naming it.
Jesus, why did you start with the Negro League though?
He said, right. I was like, Black Panther.
That's what we doing? Okay. Yo, I hope we get a soundbite of that. That was amazing.
Yeah, we could turn it into a text message.
But yeah, so that was the like I don't feel like it's in. It did great things for all the components that it had. Some things it did extremely well. Other things, because it's a part movie, like it's you don't have like the full tie-in. You know, the full tie. You know, loose ends taken care of.
Right, and that'll be interesting to like when we'll have to do something like after the fact and like when we can like watch. Both
I gave it
together, like them being able to watch them both together will be very interesting.
Yes, and I'm curious how the second half. But okay, so can we spoil now?
Just so
Has
you
everybody
know, everybody good.
'Cause I'm ready to talk. Like
okay. Well, with that being said, just so you know, everybody, if you want to avoid spoilers, you can turn the podcast off right now. We love you guys. Thank you for watching as always. We appreciate it. Go see the damn movie.
OafDiscussions at gmail.com. Any questions, comments, or concerns you have at OafDiscussions on Twitter and Instagram. KNKidSwift on Twitter. Future_ASC on Instagram. Web859 on Twitter. Web.859 on Instagram. LLCoolB22 on Twitter. And it's the same username on Instagram, correct?
Correct.
Cool. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you are done with this episode and don't want to listen to spoilers,
get out of here.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
List a comment on any section that you can vote. Give the voting on any rating on every podcast station you got.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Bye. Go see the movie.
Shoo.
Get out of here.
All right. Now, with that said, we can go into
Hold on,
spoilers.
hold on. Close the door.
All right.
Hey, close the screen.
Hey,
Lock
hey,
it. Lock
are
it.
you with
All
us?
right.
Hey, are you with us?
All right.
If you still with us,
Now
all
that-
right.
All right, now that the real niggas in the room.
Let,
It's like-
now,
Yeah.
now the real ones is here. Now let's chop it up. Okay, the Hulk was a bitch.
You're stupid.
quite the starter.
I
Quite,
love
a,
it.
quite
Yeah,
an
that's-
opening argument.
That's an interesting way
Yo,
to start.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's funny.
I mean, did you see the combo Thanos gave him?
Yeah, he gave him.
did give him.
Jesus.
He gave him that
That
piece.
Like,
piece and a biscuit.
This wasn't even the first 3 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was out the gate. I was
As
like,
soon as he-
doing this.
As soon as he throat punched Hulk, I was like, oh no.
Because
It was before the combo too.
It was a good boxing
Yo.
match. Like, that was a good boxing fight.
No.
That was a
it
good
was
boxing
it was
fight.
it was one of those where I looked. I was like, he was like, we have a Hulk, and he jumped out there and he hit him, and then the old dude was like,
Everybody was like,
Ebony,
yeah.
Ebony
At
was
this
like,
point.
Ebony was like, here, yeah, hold
Let
on,
him-
back up, let him do his thing.
Yeah,
Let him
yeah.
and I
stretch
was
a
like,
little bit.
oh, you fucked up. That's
That
what I
was
said.
right.
I was like, oh, Hulk, you fucked up.
Yeah, it was great, man.
He beat Hulk's ass so bad
That
that
he
Hulk
was
didn't come out of
scared
his
to
shell
come
no
out
more
for the rest of the movie.
for
Yeah.
the movie. He was like, no.
He was scared to come out for the rest of
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, that's
Ow.
amazing.
If you are able to scare the Hulk,
You've got some kind of power. I
Yo.
mean, Jesus.
Yo, you know how bad it was? I got Hulk glasses. I got to put them up now.
Yeah, throw them away.
Like, I was like, come on, Hulk, you let me down. You let me down. I was like, I got to
if these
see
Hulk fists that those those little toy Hulk
Yeah, Hulk
fists,
fists, I love
if
those.
they had thumbs, I'd be like this the entire time. I'd have them pointing down.
down.
Sorry.
Two Hulk thumbs way down.
Yeah, two
Man.
I was like,
green thumbs
"Homie
way
Hulk,
down.
you do this, like you,
All right.
he got beat so bad
Yeah.
that dead Ildris. What is his real name? In
Heimdall.
this
The
movie?
character's name is Heimdall.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Heimdall.
Mhm.
He got beat so bad that Heimdall had to like send his ass back and be like, let that be a message.
Yeah,
Like he
get out
had
here.
to be a broken message back.
Yeah. Like,
You know what I'm
please tell
saying?
them.
That's how bad. Like, you know, like people do that to people with like a bomb and like be like, go back to your people and tell them I did this. I'm gonna let you live so that way you can
So
be
you
a
can tell
warning
the
to
tale,
what's
yeah.
to come.
Right,
I
absolutely.
was like, for real?
yeah, it was
for
terrible.
real.
He didn't tell him to say that either.
No,
No.
but that
He was mad that he was mad he sent them off.
Yeah.
It's like,
right.
I wasn't done whooping them. It's like
Right,
pretty
yeah,
much.
exactly,
you
yeah.
fucked up. Like,
I was going to kill him.
he was like, we weren't done playing.
Oh,
Um,
man. That's funny.
But him snapping Loki's neck, I was not
Death number
thinking
2.
that was gonna happen.
That was what was funny about that moment because
Did y'all see Valkyrie in the background?
nope.
I think
I
I saw
missed that.
Valkyrie's body in the background.
Really?
It wasn't played by Tessa Thompson from Ragnarok,
Okay.
but the outfit looked identical.
Really?
Skin tone, hair, all of that looked identical.
That's interesting.
I
missed
think
that.
because they didn't show Korg, they didn't show Meek.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about that rock paper scissors joke? No, we didn't because you didn't. See. Okay, I was the only one that did that review on the
Yeah.
on the YouTube. Never mind.
For
Fuck it,
Ragnarok?
I'll leave that joke alone for him since he hasn't seen it.
Oh, well, let me know the joke later.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell it to you later. So I think I saw Valkyrie in the background when Thor was being like tortured,
Okay.
and Korg was nowhere to be found. They didn't even show like rubble. It's
Yeah.
like him being broken into pieces or nothing like that.
Except for when
I didn't see Meek or anything like that.
Okay.
The only other people would have been Heimdall,
Right.
Loki, and Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
So we see what happened to Heimdall and we see what happened to Loki.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, how did they? So they definitely made sure to kill a black man first
Yeah.
at the start of this movie. Out of all this intergalactic shit, we made sure to kill him. Technically, he's an alien too.
Yeah, but
Technically.
but I mean, there were some other people on the floor dead first.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
there
just
was
thinking
some
the
other
That we
people
see,
Yeah.
that we give a fuck about.
Technically, he wasn't the first,
Yeah,
but that we got to
technically he was the
watch.
first. Yeah, technically he was the first.
Well,
But that was the funny thing about Loki getting killed off the drip is because I don't think I heard anybody say that as one of the ones. It was always, who's going to die? Well, maybe Cap. Vision's gotta die. And I didn't even think about like Loki and this, like those people.
because
Like,
I
didn't even
figured
think about
Loki
that.
was going to
Side.
trade. Yeah, going to be a traitor again.
He did too much.
see,
He
I
did
was
too much.
wondering.
Quadruple cross, basically.
Quadruple
Yeah,
cross.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was working for Thanos at one point,
Yeah.
and
But then he tried.
and then
He
he-
double crossed.
so he tried to He was serving Thanos in Avengers 1.
Yeah.
He flipped sides to help out Thor in the second Thor movie.
Yep.
Then he turned around as like the ruler of Asgard by the end of Thor,
And
second one. And then when it comes time for the third Thor movie, he was still an asshole. And then he switched it around and tried to trick Thor. Thor was smart enough this time around, got his ass.
Yep.
And Loki had another face turn and came back to Asgard to help Thor out.
Yep.
And then Loki gave Thanos the Tesseract.
Yep.
And then tried to stab Thanos within the next couple of seconds. So this motherfucker has turned good and bad 7 times.
Oh yeah, he's good
throughout the MCU.
That's what he's good at.
Oh shit! I'm not even including the very first Thor movie.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So 9. He turned 9 times he's flip flopped 9 times from good to bad.
He's like, I gotta keep you on your toes.
He's mischief. That's all he is. He's straight mischief.
And so to hear the girls, like hearing little girls sit there going, oh, when he got his neck snapped, I was like, that's funny, but this is sad. It's
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going. This takes precedence. The
Right.
sad part takes precedence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit there and just.
That's so funny.
I'll laugh at this later.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this happened.
Yeah.
But that's funny back there.
The snap, because I was thinking he was gonna like let him go. Like at the very, like I figured he was like not gonna be able to breathe. He was gonna be like, "You little worm, you can send this message or help my minions get there, do something like that." But he was like, "No, fuck that shit, bro. You just try to."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, he went out with a whimper."
Won't be a number 10. It won't be a turn
Right.
number 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kept count.
Yeah, he said
Thanos kept count.
Yeah,
Your cat lives are done.
It's so funny. God.
Jeez, that was 9 too.
Yeah. So that happened, and then the blowing up of Thor, and I was like, did they just kill Thor like that too? But I was like, you didn't see him die, so I was like, he ain't dead, since
And-
you didn't get to see him die.
And that was where one of I guess the only real spoiler I could think of is that I remember seeing either like
And it wouldn't have
production
made sense
stuff.
because of the trailer too.
Right, yeah, you see, yeah. So that was an easy
Right.
one to kind of get past.
But they take that and then go to Earth?
But then again, they did
Then
trick us into thinking he had 2 eyes at the end of
they did.
Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok. So
yeah.
Now with that coming from there, then you get the literal plot device dropped right in the middle.
And they did trick us into thinking that Hulk was in Wakanda on the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a whole ass CGI
Yeah.
character
Hulk running
for
with them.
nothing.
Yeah.
Just to sit there and subvert your expectations.
Yeah.
That is sneaky as fuck. I
Yeah.
just now remembered that.
Trust no one.
Leave no one.
Yeah.
Hey, but apparently they had multiple scripts that they were sending the castmates. So the castmates were reading multiple like different scripts.
They recorded
so
different
no
ones.
no
makes
one
sense.
knew what the true
Ending,
like,
whatever.
ending
plot
was
gonna be.
to
That makes
stop
sense.
people from spoiling it.
That
I was
makes
like,
sense.
that is amazing.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
They said it was like 7 or 10 different ones or something like that. I read somewhere.
When you're making a movie that's going to make $10 billion.
Yeah, but they couldn't have people. They couldn't have people like spoiling it, like Tom Holland.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because he apparently was like he'll spill the beans if you be like, "Hey, did you die?" No, I didn't die. Like blah blah blah. I stayed in the end. Like he'll
Damn
just
it,
spoil the whole
Tom.
movie. But so yeah, we left there.
So yeah, you
I was
dropped
surprised.
the plot device in the middle of
The
Doctor
gauntlet.
Strange's lap.
Yeah.
Dropped the plot device which is Hulk. Which is like he's
Oh yeah,
coming.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's coming.
Yeah, and then
Bitch ass.
the thing that I like too
bitch ass
is
Hulk.
the thing that I like too that's kind of funny, like thinking about it in like hindsight, is you saw it's kind of funny actually. Doctor Strange was like, it's funny how his clothes, how that cape can like change his like outfit, because I had to think about it for a second, because he was dressed in like normal dress down clothes when he was walking in the stairs asking for a sandwich order, and as soon as the cape went on, it
just
changed
kinda-
everything.
That was smooth.
And I was like, okay, that was cool. But that was when you got your first dose like interaction of like Tony talking to
Doctor Strange.
talking to Doctor Strange, which I liked a lot.
Because I forget they still don't they don't know it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
they
they
don't
don't know each other.
Which that was a great way to like late title card it too. Thanos is coming. Who's Thanos? Bam,
Right.
bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam. I'm like, oh, perfect. Yeah, okay, this is good. This is the good way to start off because there are characters that have no fucking idea that these other characters exist. And then you had that really awesome, like, ominous moment where the ship first showed up. And then
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, then he was like, "You're not moving your hair, are you?"
No.
And then he was like,
not
"No,
right now.
yeah, not that I can think of." Then obviously you see
Not
everybody
at the
like
moment.
screaming and running outside, and then they went outside, and then that whole thing like jumped off.
Hey. So I thought Thanos had entered the scene.
See, that's what I thought at
thought
first
in
too.
all the
Say it
trailers.
again.
I was like, Thanos is gonna be there.
Yeah.
He's gonna be walking.
Yeah.
And he's gonna wreck shop. I was like,
Yeah.
Thanos is about to get busy. We about to have 2 hours of Thanos whooping ass
Yeah,
everywhere, all up and down this month,
right.
right? And then you know, you got your Stan Lee appearance, all that,
Of course.
and
How could you not?
Yeah, I know.
you know what I'm saying?
Kids act like they've never seen a spaceship before.
Right.
And I'm glad it was thrown away too. It just wasn't like
No, it was
yeah.
easy. Yeah.
And then you have,
Now going from there, like I remember there were specific points throughout this movie. And it's kind of going to be a running theme of like the spoiler side, at least of my experience watching the movie. But it was interesting, like going through it. I think probably starting with that one girl that was crying the entire time. With that first couple of deaths, she was just distraught the whole time. But there was like a quiet somberness throughout this entire movie. Now there were specific points, like where like at the beginning it was kind of like, hey, they're together. Hey, they're together. Oh, that's cool. And then, but then by the end, it had just been like beaten out of you by Thanos himself. But
Almost literally.
I was very happy.
I remember
I don't know
one
what
of
you're
the.
talking about.
I remember one.
Ecstatic.
I remember one of the first like moments I like audibly was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like I said it like out loud. Was when Tony pulled that new suit, and I was like, "Yeah, that suit looks fucking
that
good,
shit was
dude."
dope.
I was like, "That suit looks great," and he was like,
Nano
"You like
machines,
it?" Yeah,
son.
yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Nano machines. I was like,
with the
"Ooh,
gun,
it's
with the
fucking great."
Gundam blade, it felt like.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. He threw out
That
the
was more
the
like
super
Ace-
beam. It like came out from his back. He was like, "What the hell was that?" Banner was like, "What the hell was that?" Nano machines, you like it? And then Banner couldn't fucking turn. That was the first like hilarious fucking moment.
Yeah.
Can't get it up.
He was like, "You're embarrassing me in front of the wizards." Like, what are you doing, you asshole?
Oh, speaking of jokes,
Yeah.
what was the funniest part that y'all seen in this?
On the ship, emotional moment.
Drax.
Drax, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. That was a
moment, Drax.
100%. Because he was like, "How long have you been standing there?" An hour.
An hour. Normally somebody would sit there and say, "Yeah, I heard the whole thing,"
Yeah,
or something
an
like
hour.
that. It's like, "No, how long you been sitting there?" An hour.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been
That
doing
was-
this way before y'all even showed up.
Yeah, I just kept
Right.
doing it. And then the whole thing where he was like, "If I move very slowly," he said, "it's so minute that you can't see me." And then she was like, "Hey, Drax." Damn it. He just
And he
away.
walked
It was
off.
so
That shit was
good.
hilarious.
It
Mine
so
was
good. I love that, man. Drax is
when they
great.
picked up
Drax
Thor,
really is great.
and
Oh,
he's
okay.
over rubbing a girl's arm, and
that
then
was
he's
funny.
like, he's like,
He's like a pirate
He
made
like
love to an
cutscene.
angel or something. Yeah.
yeah, are you changing your voice to make it deeper? Are you trying to
No.
sound like
Oh,
him?
okay,
yeah.
He's like, no, that's how I talk. This is how I talk.
Yeah, so I always
That
thought,
was hilarious
that
to
whole
me
part was
because
good.
I was like, clearly, dude, you're trying your best not to. I mean, am I? You're what they tell him he was one snack away or one
They
one
said he was
something
getting
It's
away.
fat.
like one sandwich away from being fat.
yeah.
Yeah,
Drax was like,
It-
kind of did the chin, the
Yeah,
double
he
chin
did
things.
yeah, and then
Gamora,
he
am
was
I
like,
getting
"Am
fat?"
I for real?"
Yeah,
And
Gamora,
he
am
tried
I
to go
getting
for the
fat?
girl. He's like, "Am I?" She like walked away from him. Like I thought that was hilarious to me because it was like that whole sequence was like
Yeah, that was great.
like he's overcompensating for real. Like, yo, you ain't taking my chick like that, bruh.
Right. It was so funny.
Hold on, let me
took
stand right there.
He took his
Another
backpack. He took his back. He says, "My backpack." Like, what are you doing?
My second favorite, my second funniest part, Drax again.
Yeah.
Star-Lord is asking, "Where's Gamora?" And then Tony's like, "Who is Gamora?"
Yeah.
And then
I'll
Drax
do
is
you
like,
one
"I'll do
better."
you one better." Why is Gamora? It was like, nigga, what?
He had another really good one too with the when they first met Tony and them on the ship, and he threw his cape at him. His cape attacked him. And he was like, "Die, devil blanket!"
Devil blanket, yeah.
Like Drax is so good. Like I love Drax so much. He's so fucking funny. But and he works perfectly with them.
Shout out to Batista, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just for
Yeah.
that comedic timing and shit.
Yeah,
Just like,
yeah, absolutely. And I love how Thor kept calling
rabbit.
raccoon a rabbit.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just kept-
Speaking of, there's this movie that I saw that had that had Rob Van Dam in it as the main character.
Okay.
And it was called Wrong Side of Town. It was basically like a double date. And it was like, hey, they live out in the suburbs. It's like, hey, let's go out to the city and blah, blah, blah. One thing led to another in some contrived manner. It made no sense looking back at it now. But they're on the run with a bounty on their head from all the gangs in the world. It was almost like
that escalated quickly.
Not in the world, I'm sorry, the city.
Okay.
From all the gangs in this. Well, it seemed like the world was pretty much against them every turn.
Yeah.
18 blocks, all gangs.
And so Rob Van Dam knew Batista's character, who was like a club owner and kind of like a member of a certain gang. And Ja Rule was in it too.
Okay.
And so Ja Rule's crew cornered Rob Van Dam's group in a park.
Okay.
And they were about to kill him. And then Batista sit there and showed up and was like, hey, man, you can't do this. And then Ja Rule sitting there just talking shit. He was like, no, man, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. And like, Ja Rule, like, we seen him like in the music videos. He looks like he's all cut, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
This is fucking Batista.
Yeah, Batista's giant.
So like Ja Rule looked up to Batista in the same way Gamora looked up to Thanos damn near. And so he's sitting there just yapping like a damn like a little dog to a Rottweiler. So no, fuck you, blah 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 blah. This is our kill, blah 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 blah. And then Batista's like, all right then. He said to turn around. And then he sit there and went and then he sit there and swung. Yeah. And I thought it was, he's gonna punch the fuck out of him. No, he had a gun in his hand. He sit there, swung and shot him in the head like he in like a weird little overhand. Almost like it was like supposed to be a like overhand bam. Punch. He went like pop. And then Ja Rule just fell dead. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, were you saying something? No, because you dead. You can't say shit. It was like, or something along them lines.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. Now.
And I was like,
that reminds me. It wasn't okay. So that reminds me of one of my other favorite scenes.
That's awesome.
But it wasn't. I laughed, but I don't think anybody else in the theater laughed. Where they're up at the Soul. They're at the Soul place. It wasn't Titan. It was the other place.
Yeah.
Can y'all think of the name?
Yeah, I can't think of the name, but I know what you're talking about. Where he went to get the Soul Stone.
But they was going to get the
Valeria
Soul Stone.
Or fucking was.
I'm sorry, say that again.
When he went to get the Soul Stone.
What was that
Thanos,
place?
When Thanos went to go to get the Soul Stone.
What was the name of that place, you remember?
Shit. It was called Yes.
Good
guess. Great guess.
Yeah. Because it was funny because every time the names popped up, Anaya would be like, what does that say? And I was like, space. Like, what does that say? Jesus. Watch the
more
movie.
Space.
Watch the movie.
A lot more space.
Yeah.
Nephilim.
Yeah.
Niflheim.
So that led me to the shock of the Red Skull. When the Red Skull popped up,
like, I audibly said, wow. It was like, wow.
Yeah, that's what I did
was like,
too.
what are we doing?
My wife's like, who's that? It's like, we saw him in the movie. It's like, we saw him in the first Captain America. What do you mean, who is that?
That's so funny because I did the same thing where I was like, and it was one of those where I was like what I was like looking around at people I didn't know. Like, why is nobody else having the same reaction than I am? Is this the first fucking movie that everybody's seen?
This is why I should have went to the midnight screening.
Thank you. Because everybody else had to look like, oh, this is normal. I was like, why the fuck would Red Skull be here?
Yeah,
I figured
is he alive.
I figured as soon as he showed up, I was like, I know what happened.
Yeah, and then
but just the fact of seeing him, period,
it's crazy. Yeah,
it threw me off. It literally threw me off.
And it wasn't played. He wasn't played by Hugo Weaving this time around.
It wasn't.
Okay.
And that was the thing I kind of wondered, because there was always talks. I mean, it wasn't really a spoiler, but I kept seeing it everywhere. Like the heading of multiple articles on IGN and everything else was like, this is what really happened with that secret character that nobody saw coming. And I'm pretty sure that's what they was because I can't think of anybody else that was secret that I didn't know of. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, what the? I was like, I didn't expect it to be fucking Red Skull. Like, are you kidding me?
That was like, whoa, that was a surprise.
Yeah.
Now the biggest one was he's over talking like, you got to trade a soul, something that you love most precious, like the most thing you love, the most precious thing to you for the stone. Yeah. Right. You got to sacrifice something. And then she's like, ha 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 ha. Like I thought of that Dexter Laboratory laughter with Bandar. That's what I kept thinking.
Yeah.
And she was like, you love nothing. I've been waiting all these years in your face because you love nothing. And now the world spits in your face and you can't do anything. Ha, 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 ha. That's all I kept thinking in my head when she was talking. And then like the little tear comes down his face. And I was like, oh, but he can cry. I was like, first we seen that he can bleed in the beginning. And then I was like, oh, and he can cry.
Yeah.
And then she was like, what are you crying for?
Yeah.
"Oh, you're so sad," and the Red Skull was like, "I forgot the Red Skull was there." He was like,
Those tears
"It's
aren't
not for him."
And see, that was my thing, and maybe this is just me, obviously being a
That made me die laughing.
trained viewer, and
Laugh.
It is. I was confused at. I wish they would have kind of wrote that because it felt like it was going one way, and then it shifted. Where I thought she knew that was the thing.
Yeah.
It was first.
It made more sense.
Yeah, exactly.
That
and then all of
was
sudden
a
she
gripe I
like-
had.
Yeah, and that annoyed me. I didn't like that it was wrote that way. Like it made more sense that she
That
would
she
be
wouldn't-
like,
I
see,
know-
you love me, and now you have to kill me in your face. Like I would have liked that more. But then she was like, "What? Me?" And I'm like,
That made no fucking sense.
Like,
That's
how
when
the
you
fuck
can
do you not
tell.
know that?
Wait,
That's when you can
so
tell that
that's
James
what y'all-
Gunn wasn't.
yeah, I knew
Yeah.
immediately.
See, that made sense to me.
See that
That actual
scene.
scene made a whole lot of sense to me because throughout this whole movie and now her story arc, she's always been like, "You kidnapped me. You made me into this trained monster. You don't love anything." Like that's been her like real perception of Thanos. Like you just created and made us monsters and do these terrible things. Yada yada yada.
Right.
This isn't a place of love. My family loved me. You don't have the capacity for love. Like it's an objective. You know.
Yeah, I
You're
can see-
basically kidnapping and doing that.
Yeah.
So when she was like doing the celebration, like her celebration early dance, you know what I'm saying, before the touchdown, and she dropped the ball. And then her realization that, wait, you really love me?
Yeah.
Was like her, like you could tell that was her last, like that was probably one of her last thoughts, like, wait, I'm your most precious thing. Like you really did love me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it was
And
like,
see, I can
see that.
I could
realization,
see
like,
that.
oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
but I guess see what got in my way was like I said, it's like I know what I can. I pretty quickly.
Figured where this was going to go.
Yeah, I was like, duh.
Yeah.
And I thought that was where I thought she was with me.
I thought she
and
was
then
in there
wasn't
too.
with
So it's
me,
like, yeah, he's like, here it
That's
is.
why it
Like,
annoyed me.
Yeah, it was like, you did all of this.
which is selfish.
It was
I
like, you
guess.
did all this and built this up, and now you got to sit there and throw it away. Or I thought that's kind of where she was going with it.
Yeah, see, that's what I
and
thought
for
too.
her to be shocked
Yeah,
was it didn't make sense for me,
Not-
to me. But in the way that you put it, Brent, that
Yeah.
makes way more sense.
And see, I
but
could
it just came
understand-
across like,
I don't
wait,
think Thanos knew that was the cost either.
no, he did.
How-
He did before she did. That's the whole
Okay,
thing.
so-
he
yeah.
obviously
When,
did. 'cause
are
he
you talking
started
about when
crying.
Red Skull said that a sacrifice needed to be made, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what-
yeah. That's why he started crying.
Yeah, he knew that. He knew that like 2 or 3 beats
And
before
I'm mad.
her.
And I'm mad that I'm mad Gamora didn't
Okay.
come to that realization at the exact same time. It
Exactly.
would have made
That was
way
my
more.
thing.
I
Yeah,
felt
that
it
was
would have
my
made
thing.
more sense for them both to be like, well,
Okay.
Yeah, because that gives me that gives more.
especially when did you notice like when Red Skull first showed up as like this weird little Dementor,
Yeah, right. You're like,
which I'm still wanting an explanation for that. Maybe he picked some new powers up or something, right?
I think it's
while
just part of
he's in
his
space.
banishment.
Yeah. But like when the Dementor Red Skull first showed up, Thanos actually sit there and put his hand.
guarded
He
her.
moved Gamora out the way to
Yeah.
kind of guard her, and so they're
he
just
thought
like
it was a threat.
on some. It was like parallels between God of War. It's all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's like move boy.
Yeah, move boy, yeah, exactly. That's funny.
So that was interesting, and so I was like, oh well, then he has this weird twisted sense of fatherly love for her,
Exactly. Yeah.
and yeah, so that was
Like you said, I would have rather. I like what you said, where I would have rather them got to that same conclusion at the same time.
Okay, so he
Yeah.
did know that was going to be the price no matter what.
Well, I think he figured it out at the same. He figured it out
When he
a
got
couple
there.
beats
I
before
thought-
that
I
she
thought
did.
the way I looked at that scene was he went looking for the stone,
Yeah.
and then Red Skull popped up and or the Dementor Red Skull popped up,
Yeah.
and was like, but a sacrifice has to be made.
Yeah.
This is the cost of your sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
And then he had that moment where he's just like standing there,
Yeah.
and I felt like that was his first time knowing like,
Oh yeah,
this
no,
is the true
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sacrifice that I have to make,
yes, yeah.
and
That's,
you know,
yeah, that's what we're saying. He realized it right then. But
okay,
Gamora
okay.
took
Okay, so we're on
a
the same
beat.
page.
You see what I'm saying? Gamora should have realized it right then too.
no, she had no need. She wouldn't have. Well, she learned because she was like, no. I was like, oh no, you realize now. And then that throw off. Oh, I laughed.
you laughed.
Yes.
He's weird. Brent's weird.
Okay. Here. First off, it's been on one. First off, it's been on record. I root for the villains.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So this was a movie that actually I was proud of to see. I was like, yo, a villain actually came in, wrecked shop, completed its mission, and won the day. right? This is a spoiler now.
Oh, and
So,
his motivations made way more sense than it would have in the comics.
yes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because the comics, like, yes, I'm trying to court death. Well, I mean, granted, they did use that line at the end of the Avengers mid-credit scene, but still, for them to sit there and go like, okay, he actually has a sense of purpose as far as like he thinks that he is saving the world by killing half of it.
Yeah.
So,
So that way you don't run out of resources.
Yep. He's calling the
Population
herd.
control. And he was like, it's random too. He was like, it's not
he was
even
like
that
an
I'm
evil
picking.
9-foot Al Gore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which that actually fit. That actually just helped something that was kind of like a theory of mine that I was trying to think of. But yeah, it's funny these pieces are connected in hindsight because I was trying to figure out why only a few of them were disappearing, but now that makes sense. So that
half,
that
50%.
solved one of my fucking questions. Well,
50 Cent at random.
now I'm bored.
So that's what, and then that's
Damn it.
what
I had a good
leads.
theory for
Oh
it,
yeah.
too.
So when she gets thrown off, because I was like, she finally realized one, she was loved by him, that he really meant he loved her and all those things. No matter good or bad parenting skills, like if you judge that, he literally loved her, and all that, and then have to sacrifice her, because he was like, I've given it up once. I'll never give it up, give up my dream again, and does
I'm
that. And
curious
he
about
throws
what
her
that's
off.
supposed to be.
We got to come back to that one because I thought he meant it as he had some other opportunity that he didn't go through with it because of Gamora. That's when I read it the first time, but somebody else was like, I heard some other people talking about like when I was leaving and everything that that was like he might have had other chances before in like life, and then he just didn't follow through with the mission in some capacity. So,
Or if it could have been that speech that he gave when he was on his home planet, talking about like that could have been what he was talking about as far as like not stepping up, to leading to his planet being the way it is now.
Yeah, and then
maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best answer for it, what you just said, Webb, but I don't know. I like to hear more about that. So that whole throwing off, I did laugh because I was like, well, she didn't see this coming. This is a terrible way to go out. And then I was like, so if he gets the soul gem, can he bring her back? The soul stone? I was like, does he get to bring her back? Which never got answered, but that was the
you can't
thing.
renege on a sacrifice, I don't think.
Yeah,
But that's what I was wondering. Is like, is there a loophole, or because they've been sacrificed, now you have the power to use the gem?
No, I think there's some weird probably.
But
I'm
people
curious
get
as
to
to
go
what
to the
you're
Soul
capable
Society.
of doing with the soul gem anyway.
I believe. Okay, so
Yeah,
I
that's
did
the
some
one that I'm
backup
confused on.
research. People go to the Soul Society, or in the soul gem. Like there's like a world or a universe in there, and apparently like you can send people there. So when we get to the end of the movie where he snaps his finger,
That's
and
probably
everybody
where
starts turning to dust or whatever, they all got transported into the soul, because that's the only that's the only one that didn't get shown like use a power or a stone to get used was the soul one. And I think when he snaps, instead of like everybody technically dying, I guess technically you're gone, your existence is gone, but now they're transferred into the stone, like they're locked in there somehow.
Okay.
That's my theory, that they're locked in there, but I couldn't find out what all powers the soul one did. It has control over life.
All right. Well, I mean, like
the essence of life. So.
Yeah. The reason why I ask is that, well, actually, I had another question, but the reason why I ask was like, well, a lot of the other stones, they have been established as to what they are capable of, and now that makes, as far as going back to the comics, that makes way more sense from what you brought up, Brent. As far as like, well, they kind of deviated a little bit from the MCU as far as what the stuff does in the comics, but this actually does kind of make sense as far as like, okay, we'll just copy this bit here, and like they're not really dead. They're in that thing that we did not establish, this MacGuffin that we didn't establish until the very last second, which obviously will be explained next year. Damn, we gotta wait next year. But so how anybody else pissed that their soul gem theory was wrong come Infinity War time?
Oh, that it wasn't on like Titan or Wakanda?
Right.
I wasn't mad that it wasn't at Wakanda. Huh?
Oh, you thought it was in Titan? Or there was a theory that it was in Titan?
I think there was a theory that it was going to be like on Titan somehow, like on his home planet. Like he would have to go back, and apparently like something maybe with like them dying. The Soul Stone was there. I seen that somewhere, but most people kept thinking like it was going to be in Wakanda, our Vision was gonna be in Wakanda. Like I kept hearing like weird stuff like that.
Which that turned out.
Or
obviously.
that it would have been Heimdall that had the Soul Stone all this time. But it didn't make sense because the second Thor movie, when they gave the Collector the ether, and it was like, it's unwise to have 2 Infinity Stones in one place.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if Heimdall had the Soul Stone, then it wouldn't have made sense to keep the Tesseract either.
Right, yeah, because then you'd have had both, yeah.
Because then you would have had 3 stones all in one planet.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And it's just like,
problem, yeah.
And that planet gets attacked apparently quite periodically.
Yeah.
So
that's funny.
Yeah, so like this movie, okay, Spider-Man coming out with the Civil War.
I just noticed a plot hole.
What?
What'd you say?
I just noticed a plot hole.
What was the plot hole you just noticed?
When you were talking about Asgard being attacked constantly, that just reminded me of when the Frost Giants attacked Asgard in the first Thor, and they were in the basement in a little vault or whatever the hell it is, and that Infinity Gauntlet, quote unquote, that was there, and it was established in Ragnarok that was a fake.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
If that was there the entire time in Asgard, and it took someone else to recognize that was a fake, why is Thor just now realizing what that thing is?
What the Infinity Gauntlet is?
Yes.
maybe never told him. Maybe Odin never told him what it actually did, or did he say something about it?
Yeah, because the sister is the one that told him it was a fake. So,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
so
like for it to have been there that damn long,
Yeah.
and why is it Thanos is just now or just recently, according to the Peter Dinklage, giant Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Giant, tiny peanut ridiculous.
So how did they just now create that in such a short amount of time compared to the fake that was there? And how did they know that was going to be, as far as that fake being there? Like, how long has this gauntlet been around?
I think there's been multiple. Oh, that is a plot hole.
So is the
That
plot?
is a very big plot
so
hole.
what are you saying? Is the plot hole in Thor's reaction?
The plot hole in
Well-
Thor's reaction, the plot hole in the creation of the gauntlet itself.
Because it seemed like Peter Dinklage just made the first one, but they already had one already made. If there's a fake, so that means there's 2. So that means that either they've been destroyed sometime in history, and then there was a fake left, a replica, and then if
They
Peter
remade it.
Yeah, but that means Peter Dinklage or whatever the hell he didn't make the first one. You know what I'm saying? Like
Maybe.
there's
I
a
mean,
huge
maybe it
plot
wasn't
hole because he was
him.
talking like he made the very
He made
first
that
of its
in order to
kind.
try to save everybody, but then they killed him off. And
But he did talk about having a mold.
Well, yeah, he had the. I mean, he said he had made. Maybe it wasn't him that had made it. I'm trying to play devil's advocate and separate it by generation. Is what I'm doing mentally.
Nah, we're just gonna say they fucked up.
I mean,
maybe we overlooked. Maybe I'm overlooking something.
I don't know.
Or I'm just guessing, like, maybe I'm overlooking something. But now that raises a little bit more questions. A question I didn't even realize I had until this episode.
Yeah.
Nah.
But
Yikes.
one question.
It's not really a bad one.
This ain't a bad one.
No.
But now, but then again, that is what helped move this plot forward. Because if that gauntlet wasn't made, this wouldn't have. But at the same time, if it was already made to be like as a fake, I'm
but I
pretty
mean,
sure
that wouldn't
preventative
work.
measures could have been made, especially if Asgard is supposed to protect that dwarven planet or whatever the hell it is.
Well, they got wiped.
They got wiped, but around what time compared to Asgard getting destroyed?
It seemed like it was fairly recent. Well, I mean, see, that's where that's where somebody could easily
the timeline.
That in a court of law is where the people writing this could fucking weasel their way out of it. All the using, like I said, generational gaps. What you said, we don't know. There's a lot of stuff we don't know, like time frames that they could easily be like, well, it happened here and here and here and here, and then you're like, fuck, I almost had it.
I'm trying to think because
even
here's
the
Ragnarok
even
until this movie has to be within a few years of each other.
Well, no, they said 2 years. They said 2 years. We know the timeline between Thor and this. We know
It's 2 years.
It's 2 years.
So
because
Thor Ragnarok.
remember when
they had 2 year period.
Remember when Banner got back? Banner was been gone for a couple years or whatever.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like that would be our timeline. So within those 2 years, Thor, that whatchamacallit got wrecked.
Yeah.
That would mean that because that happened, they were moving the whole crew.
Yeah.
Within those 2 years, they stumbled upon Thanos, or Thanos stumbled upon them, wrecked their stuff, and then took over the builders.
Yeah.
And with that, the best I can say is Giant Peter
Dinklage.
Giggity.
had a mold already like for a gauntlet.
Yeah.
And then just like remade it, and then he killed everybody.
Because
You know what I'm
I mean, the thing is, if there's a fake, there's probably a mold for a real one.
Yeah.
But they just have had no they're like, we know this thing is a possibility, but we're gonna put a fake because we don't want to put the real one because it'd be too easy to get the real one.
But if you made the fake one,
Where's the other real one?
then why would you have? Yeah, I don't.
But he made the
I
other
would say
real
that
one
it
in order
got
to
destroyed.
protect his what's it? That's why they made the real one. So it was like
well, he made the real
like,
one afterwards. But
That's what I'm saying. It would be the way I'm thinking about it is like, here's a fake gun. Here's a fake gun. It's a fake gun because there's kids running around here. We don't want kids to find the fake gun or find a real gun and hurt somebody. So we leave a fake gun here to display to show people what guns look like. Now we got a mold for real guns, but if we make this real gun, somebody might get fucked up. So we'll never make the real gun. And then somebody says, I won't kill all your family if you give me the real gun. And he's like, fuck, I got to make the real gun. And then he makes the real gun. And then that's the first time he makes the real gun.
I got an idea. I think I got it. This is my thoughts on this one. That actually makes sense, Gary. But here's my thoughts on this. In the very beginning, what's his name? Ebony? Who was the dude, right hand man, like priest kind of dude?
Oh, the one that
Squidward. Yeah, Squidward.
Yeah, Ebony Maw was his name.
Ebony Maw. So
name.
in the very beginning, he was like, no one has ever had
Black Mouth.
one.
The name, it kind of basically.
That means blackmail. It translates
practically.
loosely to blackmail.
Black Mal?
Black mouth.
It's practically, it's pretty much like Black Mouth when you say Ebony Maw.
That's what that translates
Oh,
to,
okay.
basically.
All right. So he tells him like no one's wielded.
No one's ever really had all of them.
So I think someone's had a gauntlet made before. Like that planet probably made a gauntlet before, right?
And they only got
and then
one
whoever wielded one stone was
got
already
fucked up.
super powerful, right?
Yeah.
So probably to defeat them, like some other force entity defeated them in years prior, whatever. And then instead of like keeping that original gauntlet, somebody's probably bright idea was we're gonna make a replica and put it in the same place. So if anybody ever steals this, it won't work like as
It'll
their
distract
protective measure,
right,
and probably destroy the original, right? You still got the mold, but they probably destroyed the original glove, which the replica is based off of.
Okay.
So that would make sense of keeping a fake in a vault, because technically,
you're making it look like
defeated.
You're making it look like it's real by locking
you got
it
power
up.
from it too. Like,
by
we got
locking
all
it up
these.
too. Yeah. You're making it look like it's the real, why would they guard it if it's not that kind of thing?
Right. It's the real thing. We took it from them. Everybody remembers this through history. Odin's got this, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But in reality, they destroyed the real thing and it just has a fake. That's what I think happens, because technically that would give you the blueprint of why you would a gauntlet is used instead of any other thing, that you could put them to. What I did love was Spider-Man's legs. I know we got to get out. Spider-Man's legs coming out the suit. That was like the Civil War moment where I saw that, and I kind of like freaked out for a moment.
That was a Looney Tunes Band-Aid for that plot hole. We did it, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
We did it, everybody.
what a
but yeah,
Wilhelm scream.
Huh?
The spaceship is what you're talking about, right? As far as like the Looney Tunes shit is what you basically kind of worded it as. Yeah, it's just like Ebony Maw made a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
When he got sucked out.
He did, yeah.
Yeah,
the classic, yeah. I love the 80s movie reference, like the old movie. There's this really old movie called Alien. Like, I love that. It's this like running theme that he keeps doing and annoying.
Just he's the youngest person.
Annoying,
That's
just annoying Tony.
Yeah.
Like every time.
I was like, damn, do we really talk like that? Do we only speak in references? But then I look at the podcast, it's like, yeah, we kind of do.
Yeah, pretty much.
What else is there?
I was just gonna say,
The
well,
end?
getting kind of to the end, yeah, you had now, like I said, you guys fixed I had some theories and stuff worked out, and I was like, yay, I got all this stuff. Now it's just kind of boring because Brent fucking knows everything about the damn stones.
Oh,
I was like, damn it,
I'm mad at
because
him.
my thing,
I'm mad. I don't know how I didn't piece that together.
because
Shout out to Brent. on
yeah,
that,
yeah,
you know,
definitely
so.
shout out to you because my whole thing that I thought about,
I think I was just so distraught
because I
And
was even talking to my girlfriend on the way, like from the theater, and I was like, I think what happened is when he used it, it was too much power and it broke it. So it only teleported part of the people, but then you did the halfway thing, which he was fucking saying the whole movie. So I should have been able to put that together.
With
Because
the
I just
snap.
assumed, I just assumed everybody was gonna die. I just kept in my head, even though he was like, even though Thanos was being practical, he was big and scary. So I was just making him just kill everybody. And then obviously he fucking told me what he was gonna do the whole time, and I completely
So
got it
honestly,
wrong still.
shouldn't he have just kept half the Asgardians alive?
what do you mean?
No, they was in the half that needed to go.
Oh, he had to prove a point.
To who?
did- they-
Because he didn't want witnesses. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let Heimdall, or he wouldn't have got mad that Heimdall sent Hulk off.
Webb is currently walking around like a cave diver, just looking for plot
So,
holes.
so with that,
I'm not
like,
looking. It's just y'all keep
fight-
bringing up.
If you fight Thanos, like basically,
It's funny.
he's
It's
gonna
just-
like
shit's
he's
just
gonna wreck
clicking
you.
all of a
You know
sudden.
what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna oppose Thanos. He's gonna wreck you.
Hindsight.
Or his little crew, right? So he did all that to get the Infinity Stone, which
You're trying to
he
put a
was
ball
like,
in a
I'm going to
square hole
destroy
and just
anything
kinda-
in the
Yeah,
path.
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, not the Infinity Stone, shit. To get the whatever stone they had from the Tesseract,
Space Stone, yeah, the Tesseract, yeah.
Space stone.
the Space Stone. So he wrecked all them to get to that. Like any other way, like he's always wrecked everything, long as it had like meaning towards the mission.
Right.
Right?
Well, the
Just-
thing was there weren't that many warriors on the ship.
No, there
because
were-
what's the name? Because the transmission at the very beginning, which was actually voiced by Kenneth Branagh, which is dope as hell because he was the director for the
nice.
first Thor movie.
Yeah.
And he's a big Hollywood or Shakespeare actor, etc.
Yeah.
He basically said, "It's like we have women and children. We have very few warriors."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if he did I was expecting him to. Now I'm starting to think, well, why didn't he do the exact same thing he did on Gamora's planet, with killing off half the population?
Right.
But
Fuck it.
He had the wreck shot.
Now here's the funny thing. Like getting to the end, obviously we got to see like random people just disappearing and stuff, and everybody was like, "Oh god."
yeah, which was very interesting because it kind of another subverting expectations. Where here it was, he was going like, okay. I knew for a fact, it was like, okay, I know for a fact it's going to be Steve Rogers and it's going to be Tony Stark.
Yeah.
They're going to die. We're going to have replacements.
Yeah.
We have 2 replacements at the ready
Yeah.
with Bucky and Falcon.
Absolutely.
And then for both of them to get wiped instead.
Almost first. Yeah. Bucky, Falcon, bam, and then Groot, which that was just mean.
All the
was
Guardians
fine.
except for Rocket.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
All the Guardians except Rocket were
Yeah.
gone.
So it's the original Avengers and Rocket.
Yeah. Basically.
Spider-Man's gone. Like that's what it turned out to. The original
Yes.
Avengers.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I almost I was kind of shocked just to see Black Panther go.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what
Yeah.
the fuck? It was
Yeah,
like I was
yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But it really hit me when for some odd reason they decided that Peter get the worst of it.
Oh, he did it. He fucking killed that scene. Like as far as acting it,
Yeah.
it's and the
As
thing
soon as
was,
he was-
they let him do that because everybody else was just kind of like, what the fuck? Oh, like
for
he
him to
like
Parker?
they
Yeah.
let him linger.
And for him, it's like,
yeah.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I was like,
oh no, Spider-Man.
Yeah, that one hit me.
and
That
then
one hit me.
then when he sit there and like ran over to Tony, it's like
hugged
I don't
him.
want to die. It was like I was like,
But the thing
my eyes
is,
watering. It was just like
the thing is, even though like, and here's
That one hurt.
here's the thing where emotionally, not kind of in the way like Brent is, because we know Brent likes the.
well, he
villain.
said he actually admitted that hurt.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
but like,
Hulk and
but he was rooting
Spider-Man
for like
are my 2 faves.
I never could get like, because like I said, I told you I got very emotional when I saw Black Panther. But I never could get behind the sad part, especially at the end when people were literally disappearing. And that was the closest I felt because I was like, all this makes so much sense. But the thing is, there's another movie, and I know all of this can be solved just as quickly as
As
he
you just
snapped
did
his
it.
fingers. That's the thing was
So,
like just knowing like just movies, and they're not. This is Marvel. This isn't The Watchmen. Like, we know it's not going to end that badly and be done.
But it still ended badly.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing was, it not only that wasn't just like sadness for sadness sake, which I know a lot of people will probably try to pull that bullshit and say it was with the Spider-Man thing, but it worked even better because he's the youngest one.
Yeah.
So he would be scared more than anybody.
Yeah.
So that was perfect. That was perfect. Now, with that being said, everything like I was telling you before we started,
on his first mission as an Avenger too.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And it was funny, like when he tried to do a little night thing.
He was
like, okay, I made it finally.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, I remember, like I told you before we started, I've never walked out of a Marvel movie that had been that quiet. Like, nobody was saying shit.
Yeah,
like, everybody was quietly walking out. And the thing was, I don't know if it was because, one, I didn't watch it with a bunch of people that knew what the fuck was going on and who characters were. Mm-hmm. I was the only one that audibly said, fuck yeah, and clapped at the end scene. When the
post credits.
I got mad after because I was like, because I couldn't think. In my head, I was like, who could possibly help this fucking situation?
And the fact that it was a beeper, I was like, well, that's kind of old.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's right. Because I've heard that Captain Marvel is going to take place in the 90s.
Yeah. And then you got one kick from the fact that you get the Samuel L. Jackson motherfucker right before he disappears. That's great. Beeper drops, and I'm like, who the fuck? I was expecting it to say a name. And I was like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? And then all of a sudden, and then it died, and then the symbol popped up. I was like, fuck yeah, and I clapped, and everybody else was like,
I have another question.
Everybody else was like,
I have another question.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
What?
Beepers didn't have that kind of color coding when they.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
I just wanted to be a jackass. I just wanted to throw that out there. I just wanted to fuck with you.
He got extra stuff, man.
Did you see?
I just wanted to fuck with you.
That fucking thing had
It had its own.
That beeper had a Volkswagen engine attached to it.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
So I was gonna. It's like I'll allow it as far as there's like, wait, why is there a color LCD screen on a beeper? But it makes sense because how did that signal anyway?
Right. Yeah. Now here's the other thing that I've got to go into and go in depth with, and this is just lack of knowledge on my part when it comes to Captain Marvel.
Also, why would he just now hit the beeper after this being the third Avengers movie?
Well, first off, we don't know where the hell he's been at.
Nick Fury?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's start with that.
Why is he out in the open?
Let's start with that. He's been gone for years.
I do have an excuse for him for the first of two Avengers for him to not use that beeper.
Yeah, right.
The first two Avengers, we had Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were good.
Yeah. And after the events of Civil War, there were no Avengers technically.
Yeah, they were still there.
Yeah,
but there was no impending doom threat that we needed to Yeah. Now this of course sets it up perfectly because we can get the Captain Marvel movie out of the way and then we can go into it. But I was like, I just felt alone in celebrating that. Like, fuck yeah, and
that was funny.
That diverted the sadness too a lot.
Yeah,
that was literally a beeper of hope.
Yeah,
like that was literally like, fuck, if anybody's gonna help, fuck yeah, she is.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Oh, I don't like how they kind of wrote Scott Lang off. It's like he's on house arrest. It's like, really, nigga?
Yeah.
That's it.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that either. Like, you could do that with I was okay with it. I kind of wasn't even batting an eye when they said that with Hawkeye. I was like, all right.
So Steve Rogers didn't break Scott out at the end of Civil War.
No, it means he left him.
But him being technically a war criminal now.
Yeah.
I would have think that house arrest would. I'm fucking with y'all. I'm sorry. Here's
the thing: the general probably disappeared.
Him getting house arrest is kind of incredibly lenient for them to sit there and.
The general probably disappeared anyway. It's fine.
I do got a question for you all because I know we're about done. Captain Marvel. I need to look up Captain Marvel. I've looked into it before, but I don't remember any of like the powers. Yeah. I feel like she's like Rogue, basically, or not Rogue. The Phoenix for some reason. But probably not a great comparison, but like powers wise, but I'm not sure all of Captain Marvel's powers anymore. But that's not really my question. My real question is, at the very last scene of the movie, before the credits.
Yeah.
Before the credits, you have him snap the fingers.
Yep. Of course.
I cheered on the inside because I was like, yes.
A villain finally accomplished.
Yeah,
what
villains
they
finally accomplished their mission, right? And Avengers got their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about that thing I got pissed off about. The character motivations that made no fucking sense.
Okay, then I'll ask my question.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go.
What the fuck with Star-Lord? That made no sense as to his character whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, of course, here we go. I'm going to play devil's advocate again. You can explain it away with trauma.
He was in love.
You can easily explain it away with trauma. In a dire situation, you cannot be completely responsible for your actions.
I could understand like what he did in Volume 2.
Yeah.
When he found out his father was responsible for his mother's death, and he flew off the handle, shot the shit out of him.
Yeah, right.
It was the bubbles. He broke a promise to his mom. On his mother, he said that he would kill her, and he didn't do it the first time. Then
he did. Well, he did attempt. He did make the attempt. He did make the attempt.
So that counts.
But it was Thanos wasn't going to let that happen.
Right, we didn't know that, but when he moved him forward, I was like, Thanos not about to let you shoot her in the face. I was like, that's not going to happen. But like that happened, so now he's got to live with the guilt that he couldn't do the one promise that she asked on his mama, and then she dies. Like his next knowledge of her is like, oh, we're gonna save her because I let her down. I failed her at this moment because she's now stuck with the worst person possible, and now she is dead at the hands of the dude. And that was basically what she kind of warned him about. Like she would rather die, but than being stuck with him and whatever that may be. So him like freaking out like that, it made sense, but it was the stupidest play ever.
It made sense for him to be angry.
It's Doctor Strange's plan.
But it didn't make sense for him to sit there and just fuck everybody's plan or just fuck the plan up entirely.
Yeah, no, it's annoying.
It's Doctor Strange.
And for him to be as obnoxious as he was with Tony Stark, like granted he's obnoxious, but he was never at that level. So that's when you can definitely tell that was when it was Gunn and when it was Russo's, or when it was the Russos that was taking care of the Guardians.
Right.
That made like that just.
Here's my thoughts on that.
All right.
That was Doctor Strange's one play. Like he said, he went through the 4 million, whatever different options.
605.
Bing. He was like, "You only won once." He gave up the stone, which means like he can't tell everybody how to like what needs to happen because you're gonna fuck it up either way. And any minute change would end up in an alternate, ending that wouldn't be success. So he let it played out, and I think this was the grand scheme because he could have stopped whatchamacallit.
Star-Lord.
You know what I'm saying? He could have stopped Star-Lord at that moment if that was going to be what caused them to fail. But instead, he let that option go. And Star-Lord does that. He doesn't rip the arm. You know what I'm saying? He gets hit, all that. He doesn't even like freak out or nothing. Like he's not even like surprised. So for me, I'm like, that was all part of the plan. Yeah, even though it looks terrible.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is the only one that knows how this ends in the next movie.
Yeah.
Like
he had the time stone.
Like even the way he went out was the most. He said it had to be done, and it had to be done. Like he knows about Brent's stone world and all that shit. Like he knows. If anybody would know, it's gonna be him.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the person that can literally interdimensionally travel, has controlled time before.
Of time,
like he knows that shit.
Tony Stark should have died from that stab wound.
Yeah, he definitely should.
There's how?
Yeah.
How?
He healed himself with those nanobots.
Yeah, all nanobots. Metal Gear Solid explains nanobots. Metal Gear Solid explains nanobots, man.
Yeah. But yeah.
Solid Snake, Liquid.
I liked it.
Gray Fox. Okay, so you brought up the one part. So when he's sitting on the thing and he's looking at his sunrise, he's like, finally.
Yeah, I did it.
The world is balanced, right?
Yep.
He has that vision of Gamora as a little kid, and she's like, what did it take? Like, what was the cost? And he was like, everything. So right then, part of me was thinking like, he's going to reverse. He's going to use the time stone and reverse. Like that, like the next movie, I felt like he could have that moment, it'll weigh on him and be like, maybe this wasn't the best outcome possible, and reverses everything.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
But well,
and
I don't
if
think
he
so.
did,
Now with the whole soul theory, but
It's
like, that's what I was
ironic,
thinking
y'all.
when
I'm
Yeah,
out.
'cause I was-
Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry,
but it ends. So I was thinking, like, in that very moment, I was like, he's gonna reverse it back. Like, he's gonna like be like, nope, the cost was too great, whatever, and then reverse it back. And then it was like, nope, he is satisfied. And then on that note, I was like, I am satisfied as well. And then you had Captain Marvel, and I was like, well, look like I got to go down the rabbit hole with Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that was my thing, because I was excited the whole time. I was like, obviously, like, I'm like feeling that constant feeling like, yeah, he's like winning, he's gonna win. Oh, god damn it! And then seeing that Captain Marvel logo, and then thinking about him sitting there, I'm like, yeah, that's the end of the first bout. That's y'all's first meeting when you just got into the boxing ring for the first time with this guy. We're gonna beat the fuck out of you next time. We're gonna beat that ass.
Hulk knows them
Thanos
hands.
is gonna get that ass beat.
Hulk got
What
beat
I
so
hope
bad
is-
he never came out of his shell and had to get in a Hulk buster suit.
Right.
What I hope is that Banner and Hulk are able to coexist
Yeah.
in the same body, so that way they can both kind of for the next movie. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Banner was still around, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
He was still in the suit.
yeah, so almost all the original people,
Yeah, it's
All the original people.
literally the original Avengers.
which is
the original
that
Avengers.
felt like a cop out to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
It's the Avengers movie.
Fucking. It fucking was. It fucking was. It fucking was.
I didn't like that. I didn't like.
That was a bit. That was probably the biggest like easy button slap. By
And
the,
so
by the-
far, the only permanent deaths have been the Asgardians.
Yep.
And Loki, because
Loki.
technically he's not Asgardian.
Niflheim,
And
whatever.
Gamora.
Yeah, Gamora. What's the dude's
Gamora.
The other one?
name? Idris Elba's character.
Asgardian.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you.
I was trying to lump them all together so it'd be easier, so save
Yeah.
on time.
Anybody
Yeah,
in
so-
Wakanda?
Yeah. Oh, there's a few. Nobody.
No.
Like none of the main people.
Prior to the snap of the fingers,
Yeah.
like no one of note
Oh god.
from
What's
Wakanda.
that? Oh, his sister better still be alive. I swear to God.
Yeah, they didn't show her anywhere. They didn't show her.
She just got
after
knocked out.
Oh
And,
gosh, she better not have disappeared.
so did his little minions ever kill anybody?
Who?
Did his little minions did they ever kill
the Black
anybody?
Order?
The aliens?
The Black Order, yeah.
Yeah, the Black Order. Did they kill anybody?
His people.
Like his
Like,
direct his
other
kids
than
or the
the
little aliens?
Yeah.
Other than the Asgardians, none.
Yeah, that's what I
alien?
was like.
No. Like the people that were like the generals.
Oh,
The generals for him.
Technically,
I mean,
no.
no,
Like with the
no, they
exception
didn't.
of the
No,
Asgardians.
they got fucked up. That was the one glaring bit of light in the fact that Thanos had just punched him in the face. It was like a really hard boss battle where it was like, I took out all his minions. Oh fuck, I keep getting beat by the main boss. Like at least they were kicking their ass. At least.
Okay.
And the fact that Thanos was just drilling their head in the whole movie. At least those were the one times when they went to those. It was difficult.
Yeah.
But at least they got the upper hand on them. Like, thank God. It was like a very difficult boss battle where you're like, all right, take out the small guys first because they're just gonna do chip damage. And then I need to focus on the boss.
The only new Avenger that might still be alive is it may be Vision, because when he took the Mind Stone out,
He's dead.
he turned to silver or
Yeah, he did.
like a white.
Yeah.
And if you watch the comics or if you mess with any of like the video games, Vision, one of his colors was that he used to be red, yellow, and green.
Yep.
And then there was another version of him where he was just all white.
Nice.
And it didn't make sense for him to change all into one monochrome color.
Well, maybe what
I
it
thought
is,
it
maybe
took his soul out.
So maybe Shuri was successful with
maybe
getting
she
a little
pulled
bit.
the information out of it. Yeah, some of the information she's got it back in the
Maybe
place.
she was successful of getting enough out of him.
Yeah,
To
that's
where
so
she
good.
could revive him.
like
So that might be the
true. I was
only
wondering
new
about
Avenger
that.
that's still alive.
How powerful is Scarlet Witch? She's ridiculous.
one of the
She's-
most.
She's like low key, like ridiculous.
Well, in the comics, she's very, very, very fucking powerful.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, like House of M, the storyline.
Oh, yeah.
Where she was with the simple 3 letters, no more mutants.
yeah,
The entire planet had no superpowers whatsoever.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
she's insane.
She's like up there.
She's dope. Yeah, When
Like
she's
even
up
people
there-
that weren't born that way, like Spider-Man.
She
and shit
makes
like
top
that, so.
10.
Yeah, she's like a downhill, like a train going downhill out of control. Like if you if she gets to a certain point, like she can start doing crazy shit.
Did
Oh,
she
when
die?
picked up those things? Yeah,
Yeah.
she vanished.
On the same
she
topic
vanished.
as
Yeah, she
on the
vanished.
same topic as the Black Order. Ain't it funny how like normal humanish people were able to hold their own against the generals? compared to.
Yeah, I mean that's always been a thing where there's like those borderline moments where you're like,
yeah.
Well,
it makes sense
hanging on like ScarJo's.
Well, it made
trained.
sense for the it made sense for the people that didn't have like they weren't too powerful like Ebony.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Or the Hulkish type character.
That big dude with the axe.
Cole,
yeah,
something
so.
like that.
Yeah.
Coltrane.
Yeah.
He did look like he straight up looked like one of those Gears of War villains.
He did. Yeah, he did. Like the Locust.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, so what was the name of it? It wasn't Reavers, because that's God of War.
Yeah. But yeah, so I enjoyed it.
I think we farted enough out of all the spoilers and stuff.
Yeah. I'm excited about.
I've poked through enough condoms known as plots.
I've always been excited for Captain Marvel just because of her kind of like different, like the different time period I like,
and the fact that they're going with this version of Captain Marvel, which she is the most prominent in the comics currently anyway.
Right.
There were two others that there could have been, but
So yeah, I'm excited to see how that turns out and how this story ends up wrapping up next year. I mean, geez.
Oh god, the fact we gotta wait next year.
That's ridiculous.
I just can't wait to see it again. Like I'm looking forward to seeing this again.
Yeah, I am
yes,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
As many criticisms as I had, I definitely
broke.
want to see that again.
What'd you say?
I thought the Infinity Gauntlet got broke at the end of the movie.
It
looked like it was like burnt.
Yeah,
he broke it, but then it broke off of doing that, but then he fixed it before teleporting.
Yeah,
he fixed it.
Because he did that and it was fucked up and burnt and all that other stuff. Thor was looking in shock, and then he healed the gauntlet and then teleported out.
Yep.
I did not see the healing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to rewatch that ending at least.
Yeah.
Because I just seen him teleport out. He was like, it looked burnt and broke, and I was like, then he was like, I'm out here, bitches.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, and see, that was when Thor was like, "What did you do?" And then it was over.
Good night, Wakanda. We love you.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Goodbye. Yeah. So with that being said, it was awesome.
Welcome
very nice. Yeah, thank you guys.
OafDiscussions. You can see us on Facebook at OafDiscussions.com. No, on Facebook.
Yeah,
Facebook
we have
group /
OafDiscussions.com,
OafDiscussions. You can go to our site and go to OafDiscussions.com. That's where you can see all the episodes, even the original ones. On there, you can find us on Twitter at OafDiscussions. You know it. Oh, you know it's not on there, but OafDiscussions on Twitter. Check us out. Send us your thoughts, your feedback, your comments. We'll love to discuss with you. Everybody throw out their handle. Gary, you are
at KN Kid Swift on Twitter and at future_AC on Instagram.
Web859 on Twitter, web.859 on Instagram.
All right. I'm LLCoolB22 on Twitter and Instagram, or wherever you're looking for me. This has been our take on the Avengers Infinity War that just came out.
Yep.
And
peace.
Y'all have a good day. Catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been OafDiscussions. Please listen to us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play now, Stitcher, audio episodes on YouTube as well. And so that's all we have today. Thank you very much for listening, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Peace.
There we are. OafDiscussions pioneers.
Quickly.
Confirmed.
Make the meme and then put the @ big thing on there with the stupid little graphic like every other goddamn internet comedian does. We got to get these views, baby.